Hello and welcome to the Velveteen Lounge.
Hello and welcome. If you're watching the rebroadcast, we want to make sure to make a point of that.
Those of you watching after the fact, welcome.
Welcome and bienvenue.
Thank you for joining us.
We have a number of correspondents who will tell us, I can never watch because of, it's like, but you can watch the rebroadcast. Some do.
We appreciate you watching whenever you're available.
I do appreciate.
Hi, Dime.
It's archived. Watch whenever you want. Yeah, fantastic.
Hi, Dime.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Big
Yay.
Big waving. And there's the thing. Some people are like, I have to cut out and do a thing. It's like, you can watch the middle of it later. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll be here.
It will still be here.
It will still be here.
It will live on long after we're
Archived
gone.
forever! On some hard drive somewhere. And one
Hi,
is why
Julie.
and how. But in the meantime, we have some over live correspondents. And
Yay.
Good to see.
God, Dime and Julie.
Correspondents
in the house.
And Bill. Hello.
Hi, Bill. Happy belated birthday.
Yes. Hello.
Oh, no, that was a different Bill. Sorry,
Different
Bill.
Okay, anyway.
Different Bill. Sorry. But whenever your birthday was, happy.
Well, let's put it this way.
Happy.
If your birthday was 6 months ago, happy belated birthday. Yee, I really need to check my calendar.
Hi, Lisa.
So there you go. But definitely, happy birthday anyway.
Yay.
Good thing. Happy unbirthday.
And hello, Alan and Elizabeth.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, okay, good. People are commenting. I love it.
People are filtering in
Hi,
from
Errol.
both platforms. Hello. If you are missing some of these names, they're on the other platform.
That's true.
You yourself could be on both platforms if you want. I mean, you have a tablet, you have a phone, laptop, whatever.
Got a couple of
Smart
Facebook
TV.
people.
But one on one the other.
Some
What the
YouTube
heck?
people.
See all the comments. We see all the comments because they come to us.
Exactly. That was a different Bill.
Yeah.
But you get it.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
How's everyone this evening?
How is every little one? That's the thing.
It's not freezing in the tiki room, but it's just cool enough to not be
It's not where it was
pleasant.
not where it was 1 week ago.
So
let's just put it that way.
But it's going to warm up this weekend,
Yeah.
so maybe we'll be back out there next week.
Because we just got
Yeah, Bill, we're still on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Hey, Tiki Paka, good to
Absolutely.
see you.
Hey, Paka. Boom. Yeah, I'm Tiki Paka, coming in from Facebook. Signing in,
Yep,
people.
we're on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously.
This is our...
So it's a miracle of modern technology.
We've been doing that now for a while, and
Yeah.
before we had one service that did it all. Of course, we had separate devices.
We had to set
do
up
it,
two phones.
which was super clumsy, and you get different views on them. And of course, we had to do that fairly recently when our primary decided to
Hi,
conk out on us.
Eric.
But now we're with StreamYard, and it's actually
Lisa's
doing
on
well.
both.
Doing well. Hey,
Thank
hello.
you.
Excellent. Hey.
Yay.
That's pretty awesome.
Right.
Isn't it great? You can see everybody's comments. You can go drop them both places. Hello, I'm here. I'm also here.
Oh, a 4-hour meeting. Errol, yuck. Oh, jeez.
Oh man, who does that? I'm just saying.
Oh, thank you. Tiki Paka's got us on the big screen.
And the big screen. Oh,
Woo.
excellent. Yeah. No, here's the thing. Paco likes to see us on the big TV, and if you do that, there's no comments. So she sneakily gets over on the laptop, tablet, whatever you're using, maybe phone, and just pops on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So now she can comment, and she doesn't have to
Exactly.
watch on the tiny screen. She can watch on the big screen.
How is everyone this wonderful, wonderful day, Eric
Hey.
says. I'm doing okay.
It's
Hi, Mike.
a lovely day today. So whatever you've got
Yeah.
to do,
All right, yeah, Mike
you've
turned on
got a
Facebook.
lovely day to do it in. It's true.
That's right. That's right. I'm glad to be here. Let's put it that way.
So
It's been a week,
We hope whatever you have
but
to
I'm
do
glad to be here.
is something that can be done by two. Or there's
Who
nothing more to say.
Else
Identify that show, and away we go, folks. Who else? Hey, what's going on?
is ready for a drink.
Who else ready for a drink? This entire crew, this whole lineup here on two platforms is like, give it up. Yeah, we can do it. We can do
What's
it.
the first cocktail? Well, good question.
Excellent
good question, Tiki Paka.
Excellent question, Parker, and we're about to answer
The
that.
first cocktail
Let's actually
is.
give you a little something. You gonna make the
I think I'm going to make this one
to the right, to the left?
to the left.
To the left. Oh,
We were looking for lost cocktails. Now, some of them are
obscure.
they're old and not made very often.
Not made very
but
much.
You can find the recipes still.
If you dial up one of these names into a decent database, you'll find it. There used to be a really great one, which was called, I think, Cocktail DB. I believe that transformed itself into something that has very few cocktails anymore, so it's too bad. There is another one.
Well.
I use some from time to time called the Web Tender, which is like 10,000 drinks. Well, a lot of those are shots with names like Bleep Juice. I'm not going to say that on the air. So, that's like my go-to when it's like, what the hell was that? And then I'll find something and say, that looks horrible. And we won't go any further.
Eric, I'm so glad justice is on your side.
Excellent.
I'm very glad to hear it.
Good to hear.
So, the first cocktail is, this is
Speaking
from
of
the
justice.
Esquire drink book.
Published in 1949, I believe, first.
Okay.
And we have a fairly early edition of that.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic book with a ton of stuff and a lot of tips and things like that. Real like, how gentlemen can make drinks properly. Hey,
I'm
good idea.
not French, as you no doubt have guessed. But this is the Habitant cocktail.
Yep.
From the Chateau Frontenac,
Frontenac.
in Quebec.
Isn't that Quebec City? And didn't
Yes.
we see the Frontenac?
We did.
Which is like
We did.
real, like, swank.
So
swanky
it calls
kind
for
of
an ounce and a half of cognac.
Yep.
I'm using brandy because I don't have any cognac.
cognac.
But cognac is
don't have any
brandy,
cognac.
so
I got no
I'm
cognac.
using brandy.
I got no armagnac. So there we go.
1.5 ounces.
That sounds like the stuff. Did we actually have a drink at the Frontenac? I thought we did. I thought we
feel
stopped
like
in
we
and just
did.
had a
Yeah, I
drinky
feel like
at
we
the
did.
bar.
Yes.
And I think I asked them if, for a single malt scotch, and they had a very nice one, and I was enjoying it. I find subsequently I'm not that huge a fan of such things, but there's some nice ones, obviously.
I need
So,
the maple syrup.
coming your way.
It also calls for 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice. This is frankly like something we make all the time in
Yes.
autumn, but it is legitimately from the Esquire,
Esquire book.
drink book.
Well, there's one that
And
you
a
made
1/2 ounce maple syrup.
a long time ago where the proportions were much different, and ultimately this is pretty much same thing, better proportions, and adds the garnish.
Thank
Up.
you.
Drip.
Okay, shake with ice.
But habitant.
Strain into a cocktail glass. And we promised some. That's too big.
That's too big.
Just like an iceberg. We
Iceberg.
promised some to bust out some of our old glasses and barware.
Barware.
So
Spears. Tips and tricks. That kind of thing.
we can go back to StreamYard.
Commentary.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi,
Hello.
Roberta.
Hello.
What? Peter, hello.
Ah, Peter. Very good to see you here.
Okay, I just want to make
Excellent.
sure I haven't missed anyone. Hold on. Roberta, Elizabeth.
Playboy Cocktail Guide from the 60s.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah. We've actually got that guide from the 71 edition and the 79 edition. And the major difference is that in 79, there are much wider lapels.
I'll take.
But the actual drinks are the same.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'll take that back.
So
Sorry.
take it back. I take that back.
I think it's not going to fill this glass. Or I think it will fill.
You think it will. You'll think it
Yes.
fill.
Oh, okay.
And then some, right?
So we have the Noritake,
yes.
a little Nick and Nora sized.
The
cocktail
perfect size.
glasses.
These are normally these days called Nick and Nora's. Back in the day, nobody ever used that term.
Yeah, look at it.
We've been mixing these
I have
things
a whole
long
other
enough to not
drink over
remember
here.
that. But that would simply have been called sort of like a standard cocktail glass, like a
And-
1940 size.
Oh, okay, hold on. Wow, Bill. Gala Wines is just down the street from our home. Brandy sold for $7 a bottle. My gosh.
Hello.
Okay.
Yep, they
and
make it.
Garnish with a cherry. So I used these for the first time
Mm-hmm.
ever. These little picks. They have their little plastic fruit on them.
Oh, yes.
So I kept out the. I'm gonna see if I can hold it up without all of them falling out.
Well, there's that factor.
But
Careful. It has
Yeah.
some bonus picks in
Yeah,
it, so that's
so,
part
yeah.
of the, what might
but
fall
they
out.
all have little fruit on
Yep.
them. I thought that was very cute.
They are super cute.
I forget we got them at some
Some vintage mall.
vintage mall. Yeah.
Not 100% sure that's an original case, but I think the little piece of cardboard therein is, in
Yes.
fact.
And so garnish with a cherry.
It's slightly top heavy, so you're bearing that in mind. Mm-hmm. But we'll give that a whirl. So this is a real
Yummy.
classic combo, really simple sour, that and not like a simple whiskey sour, although since it has brandy. But honestly,
Hi, Karen.
I'd make a whiskey sour exactly the same way. And you're just subbing for the sweet stuff where you normally use like triple sec or whatnot, subbing the maple. And the maple is a great thing to use in this context. You can also use honey syrup, which, in fact, we'll be getting to in no time now, won't we?
This one is good. I'm enjoying it. And I can keep refilling it.
And you can refill. And Bill's wife likes the cooks. Oh, yes.
Did you bring...
Frequently available, of course.
That? It is a little drippy.
That's normally available
My
most
shaker.
places, the cooks. I remember having a bottle of that. I think that was...
It's
presented
really
for Summer
good,
Honeymoon,
Karen.
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tiki Paka said that too. It is really good.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I've seen proportions for that. We saw one ages ago in the
Messy.
a piece of literature that you had that was like 1 to 1, and that's what people frequently say about a sidecar. No, I don't do that with a sidecar either, and I'm not doing it with this. This is like more of the base and less of the other parts, and then it's just nails it shut. You've got to be able to taste the base in there, and you've got to temper like the edge of the alcohol with the sweet and sour. And the sweet and sour is not a bottle that says sweet and sour. It's the maple syrup and the lemon. So there you go. Boom, done.
Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anything.
Oh, I think we kind of got it all because we had scrolled all the way back to a comment that we'd seen. They're flying fast and furious.
I know.
Good
I
to
hope I
see
didn't
people.
miss anyone.
Very nice.
Yay.
Cooks, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you need a drink.
I need a drink too. On the subject of bubbles, I would say that we have our normal go-tos like Jaume Cristalino is the
Cristalino,
which I think is
yeah.
a cava.
Yep.
And that comes in both your like standard and the pink. The pink is a lot of fun. It's good to play with. I like pink champagne. And there's what else? The Freixenet is usually a good price, although usually a little more than some of the others. Like Tutela we usually get for about I think $10.99 a bottle. Maybe.
Hi, Mikhail.
That's a really nice price for $7.50 because we'll put that away on a Friday, sure. Although the ultimate in terms of like I'm having a party, I want a case of bubbles, is go find yourself a Trader Joe's liquor because they have the Blanc de Blanc, which is French sparkling. It's not actually a champagne. It's not made in Champagne, but it's a French
gets
sparkling.
the job
and
done.
back in the day, we were getting that for like $7 a bottle. I think it was
Swanky
6.
mode.
And you know what? You
Have we
get it
done
nice and
that?
cold, and it was great. So there we go.
Have we done a swanky mode?
A swanky mode.
I feel like we have.
Possibly. I'm thinking of if we ever done a little tribute to tape heads. Now, there we
know.
go. That's a fun one. Great stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to make a drink, actually. We were looking at the classics. You were digging into the Esquire. I was digging into, probably my first go-to when I want to find drinks that people have not made in a while is Vintage Spirits and Forgotten Cocktails, a book by Dr. Cocktail. Hey, this originally was published, I think, around 2002. Went out of print. It took me forever to try to find a copy at that point in time. Then it was republished. Luckily, here we go. But even this is an old edition by now. And he actually updates like some of his sources and whatnot in there. But great pictures, great stories about what's what, and he will tell you about some fun things. Now, if you're watching recently, I took this exact same book here and made like the A part of the book here. It doesn't alphabetical. The A book features the Alaba Guzlam. We tried that. And I'm like,
The worst drink
this
ever.
is terrible. And it's usually like ascribed to like J.P. Morgan or something. And we get another book where somebody talks about the drink and says,
Hi, Bobby.
this is a drink that proves if
Hi,
Morgan
Mom.
really did invent this, it proves that he was a better financier than a bartender. As a bartender, he makes good financier. So there we
Jelly's
go.
fault. Haven't seen tape heads until recently. You make a swanky mode.
Oh, there we go.
We'll toast to Menudo. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's actually kind of perfect. It's one of those things that I enjoy. It's a perfectly gonzo piece of filmmaking.
Hi, Mom.
And the more you watch it, the more like little details come out of it that are hilarious that you really didn't even catch the first 3 times. So I'm like, it's got a lot of watchability, and for something that
Tape heads?
purportedly was just made with leftover money from a different project, they said, "Oh, let's make another movie." They came up with a script quick and just did it, and it's just kind of lunatic. I think it was that a Mike Nesmith production too? I'd have to look that up. It certainly has a fairly Repo Man feel to it, which was a Mike Nesmith production.
Reach past.
So, yes, please go.
Okay.
So anyway, I need to
gotta
do a
clean
thing.
up this bar a
so
little bit.
inside Vintage Spirits, I'm taking a look. I found all sorts of fun stuff, and I said, look, what have I got the ingredients for? What is also potentially a little timely? Oh, we found something called the income tax. We may have made this on the air, and it would be now years ago. But this is one of these things which is probably pretty definitely a 20 style drink. It's a gin base. It involves some fairly available ingredients. And it's one that I take a look and I'm like, I'm not so sure about those proportions, but I'm game. And I will try. And away we go. Let's start with 1.5 ounces on the gin. We're actually using the Dorothy Parker Rose Petals. So I'm adding some different flavors there. Managed to drop my cork, and up it comes. Boom, done.
That's okay. So, we'll be finishing that bottle tonight, probably.
We probably will. So, I do not have a shaker, do I? I have a shaker right here. And boom. Okay, folks. Maybe I could use that big ice block.
$11 the Magnum? What?
Hello. Okay.
Wow. Can't get that here.
That there's pretty inexpensive. Maybe I can make this fit. Let's see there. Let's see there. Nope, a little bit more. Come on. There we go. Sometimes you just need a little coercion. And a little bit more. And there we go. And done. Carefully. Start with the 1.5 size. And on the gin.
The income tax cocktail.
Income tax really is, when you look at the proportions, this is what they would call a perfect martini. Perfect meaning you've got both dry and sweet vermouth. Now, I don't know anybody...
It has way too much dry and sweet vermouth to be a perfect martini.
Now, back in the day when this actually originated, your typical gin might have been about 100 proof, and I believe that this is at least 90. 88. It's 88 proof. So that's significantly more than your standard proof of 80. And that might actually stand up to that much dang vermouth. So let's find out.
Dang vermouth.
Dang vermouth. Because here's the thing. Let's talk about that's called a perfect martini. I don't know anybody in right mind these days who would call that a perfect martini. They call it perfectly horrible. Put sweet vermouth in a martini. The original formula called for it. Way, way back. 1880s kind of stuff. There we go. I'm going to use slightly less because I'm pretty suspicious.
Among other things, kind of large.
Thank you. It is really kind of large. Means I get some refills.
Got some vermouth on our.
We are intrepid.
Our bridge.
Now, on the other hand, if you were using the brown goods, if I were making this with rye and making a Manhattan, I would make a perfect Manhattan with both, and that's perfectly suitable. I just find that like the gin and sweet is not really,
you need
not where I want to be.
The juice of a quarter orange.
Well, that's probably about this much.
So we don't have an orange, so we're going to estimate.
I could have run out and bought oranges, or I could have just grabbed the bottle of orange juice that we have here. In fact, it's fresh. It is a fresh.
The one that I bought for last week's broadcast and we didn't use.
Ended up not using. I think a quarter orange is probably that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want that much juice in there anyway.
And you'll want this.
I will indeed. We need some of the aromatic style of bitters. I think it's like 2 dashes.
2 dashes.
Boom, boom. Calls for Angostura. We're a little low on that right now, so I'm using the Hella. The Hella is an excellent aromatic bitters.
It's a good sub.
Shake with ice, strain. That's it. Garnish with an orange wheel. I'm going to use a twist because that's what I got. It'll work.
Since he didn't buy an orange, he doesn't have an orange wheel.
An orange wheel. And I'm going to bust these over here. I'm going to retrieve one of these little beauties too. Here we have the perfect size for a cocktail. The great thing about this is it's small. If you have a round, you're like, I'd like to refresh that. Yeah, fine. If you do that, you're probably getting something that is the size of one contemporary drink, if not 1/4. Like, I mean, you see these fish bowls they serve your martini, and they're like, good grief, there's 4 drinks.
Although I'm looking at it going like, oh my god, it's almost gone.
Hello.
But it's the little tiny glass.
Little teeny tiny. So there we go. It's significantly darker than I would expect a martini to be because of the sweet vermouth.
Mm-hmm.
So far, it's actually kind of interesting with the orange and whatnot. I'm going to grab one of these guys here.
I'm going to keep my shaker next time because this is a little trippy.
I got a nice big peel. I'm definitely going to do what you should do. Grab this, give it a twist, and give it an oomph, and then express some onto there. Lay it on top.
All right. I am eager to try it.
Give that a whirl. I myself would probably adjust those proportions.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's far from the worst thing I've
Yeah,
made.
it's okay.
Far from the worst thing I've made recently.
Yes, thin man-sized glass, exactly.
Thin man size. Yeah, exactly. They are very typically, Linda, known as a Nick and Nora glass. That's a contemporary coining. We never heard that back in the day.
No.
In case you think that people are like, in the 40s they called them Nick and Nora's. Nobody said that. It was a cocktail glass. And the glass you got at a bar was this size. Martini? Martini. You know? If you're lucky, you had 3 or 4 olives in there. That really displaces some.
Yeah, they were a lot smaller, Lisa, than we're used to today.
Yeah, I mean, this is the actual size of this glass is probably a 2-ounce pour. And if you were pouring...
It is funny, the contrast, Errol.
You take a look at a lot of classic formulas for drinks, and it's like 1 ounce of base, you know, and a few other things. And you think, that's like 1 1/4 ounces of fluid.
Like...
It gets a little diluted with the ice, which is a good idea, you know? And then you pour in, and you're like, gee, that fills the glass. That's it. But there's not too much. Yeah, the contrast there is pretty amazing, I'm telling you. I love that... I love that martini glass, which is really designed to put like bulbs in and have them grow. And you just look at the thing; it looks like it'll hold an entire 750, and you're like, "I'd like that one, please." You know? So, big fun. So this is the one, income tax. Since we have just passed the magic day, anybody out there file an extension, or did you just do the dang thing? We did ours. It took me a little longer because
he did them. I didn't.
Oh well, I did. Yeah, but
touch them.
Yeah, but I'm during that season. I'm asking you like, hey, what was that bill for?
Oh yeah,
hey,
I keep the records.
What are like how much interest do we make on those accounts? Like yes, translation, 2 digits.
The big empty
with the decimal place in front of it. Yeah. No, that's it.
I love it.
But, you know, it took me a little longer than usual. I've made it a challenge for years to say, when is the absolute drop dead earliest that we can do this? Like, when I get my W-2, right? So as soon as that thing drops, it's like, bang, buy that software, start loading in and start doing this. And then usually I've got like a good weekend day or two where I'm just kind of wrangling through all of the various bits and pieces to see if standard deduction or otherwise, just make sure you get all the pieces in. Because it gets, you know, fewer investments these days, but it gets complicated. Well, this year, it's like you had to report, like, you know, profit loss for an LLC. That is, we did. And I'm like, okay. You know, and I took a look at the form and said, boy, do I need help. So I bought that software, too.
Elizabeth says,
another piece of software.
The second glass is an uh-oh waiting to happen. Exactly. Let's just say our drinks don't usually fill those glasses.
You know, we have a friend who actually tends to use a larger size glass. And, you know, it frequently ends up being a fairly heavy pour, and one simply needs to bear this in mind if asking for a classic, because a classic like a Manhattan is all booze, a martini, all booze. There's like a drop of oil in there for flavor. There is really no juice. This one is unusual in that you've got a little fruit juice in there, but ultimately it's just
Gwen.
a martini with some flavors added to it. Unusual to have that style of bitters in here, but it's also sort of complementing the juices that we have. So,
I have to say, I am a little afraid this is going to disappear quickly, though.
If you could drop that right there, I will get rid of it.
It's drippy and sticky.
Oh, all right, so I'm going to do that.
All right, I'm going to try.
Pass it. Here we go. So, and zoop.
We saw a lovely home bar last weekend that had a
Yes, we did.
huge prep area with
Wasn't
a
it nice?
sink. That was
You know-
green with envy.
You know, wet sink behind you. Had that little thing that you put a glass on to rinse the glass out. I'm like, oh man, want one of those. Yeah. I want the you know, the wet sink behind us.
Oh, I was jealous.
So.
Hi, Johnny.
Hey Johnny! Woohoo! Al, oh indeed. Been a while. Are we seeing you this year at the lake? I thought I heard rumors of that. We will be. And it would be great to see you again at the place where you belong. Just saying.
Almost paid for a real good twisted tea. I had one dumber. What?
Okay. So, all right then. So this, again, is the income tax. If you would like to whip one up yourself, what you need to do is get yourself 1.5 ounces of gin. I use the Dorothy Parker. You do you. I think Gordon's would do just great in there. If you're a Bombay fan, no issues whatsoever with that. Tanqueray, etc., etc. If you have a locally made gin, that's nice. You know, our locally made gins have a tendency to
locally
not.
Made?
Yeah, which one?
The Dorothy Parker.
Oh yeah, that is locally made. It's made in Brooklyn.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
I
New
mean,
York, New York distilling.
local-ish, local enough.
I'll call it a local. It's New York State, that's for sure, and it's Not all that far off. You want to throw in 1.5 on the gin, 3/4 on dry vermouth, 3/4 sweet vermouth. This all sounds weird. This is kind of a classic, very wet formula for a perfect martini. Then you add a juice of a 1/4 orange. I call that about 1/3 ounce maybe. 2 dashes of Angostura. Shake, strain, garnish with, in this case, a twist. You can use an orange wheel if you feel like it. There's your income tax.
I kind of like it.
It's a very simple thing.
Taxes are done for another year. Oh, I know. What a pain.
Bang.
You're correct.
You bang.
Oh, you meant summer.
Yeah, you did not have a dumber tea.
No judgment.
You had a more indulgent tea. I don't want to judge the intelligence of the iced tea that you drink, but I'm just going to say that if you tried Snapple, ... No, you have whatever the
That's
hell.
okay. I wouldn't judge you if you were drinking because
No.
I'm drinking.
I am.
So.
I'm not going to judge that business.
You know.
Absolutely not. Ha! I believed it.
I kept saying, hire someone. In the end,
You know
you got
what?
it done.
You know
got
what?
it done.
In the end, the reason I got it done was because hiring somebody was going to
Hiccuping.
get prohibitive on time. We were going to run over. I didn't want this to run on at the mouth forever. And then money. And I thought it's cheaper for me to buy the software and just do it and follow the instructions. And you know what? That's prepared by professionals. They have people on staff with these things. It's not like they won't let you fail, but the software keeps reminding you along the way. Did you think of this? Did you do this? How about this? We found some errors. Check this out. And you check it, and you have to actually change the category. Maybe I just didn't understand what the description was. So you put the right thing in, and then it's like, okay, you're good. And it even rates what your risk of audit is. And our risk of audit for a production that actually didn't make money was low. It was very low.
Lisa's cousin is the real life TurboTax.
Funny.
I love it.
We actually have a friend who goes by the handle Turbo, and I always make the gag that I handed my taxes over to him, and I got audited. What happened? I don't do taxes, dude. Hilarious. But, I was, in fact, using the Turbo product, and have for years, and it's been fine. It does the job. What we are doing is not so complicated that I think, I'm going to get tripped up. Oh, I'm going to miss out on stuff. I don't think so. There was a period when there was more happening in other financial areas, and we did get a professional
tax talk,
and it just made things much smoother.
That's the thing.
I'm still drinking the income tax, so I'm going to talk about taxes.
We have used a CPA in the past. Yeah. I think he
left Abyss. I think he was just done.
Well, I know he moved to New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And he was doing it for a while, but I think his office is closed now and whatever. Back when I was a youngin' and could do the single page form, that was one thing, but nope, not now.
Been a long time since 1040 easy, let's just put it that way.
I was afraid I'd pay my taxes using NFTs.
I paid my taxes with Bitcoin. Oh, well, that would be a real problem around these days, wouldn't it? Although that's probably up these days. I'm not even going to start with these cryptos.
Oh, Julie says every year I say, this year I'll do my taxes earlier, and every year I do them about April 1st. That's kind of like planning ahead for a lot of people I know. A lot of people I know are like the last weekend.
If you were doing them then instead of, say, April 13th, I think you're ahead of that game. I'm making a challenge to see, like, how early is early? Can I do it in January? You're not going to get your forms before then, and you would have to do some, like, fancy pants, like, estimates to figure out what those figures are. So you might as well just wait for work to cough it up. We actually had to cough up some forms this time around for people that we employed during the production of a movie. So, that happened first time, like the 1099, I guess. So I've never had a 1099, miss being sent to people.
Right. Do we want... I'm going to do a spacer between cocktails.
Idea. Excellent idea.
We can do a cider spacer, ginger citrus, or a whiskey lemonade spacer.
We could put the vote out to the audience and see what people think we should drink. What do you think we should drink?
Ginger citrus cider
Anybody?
or whiskey lemonade
Let me
from
see. We have the.
Lee Spirits. This is
That's too
this
bad
is
it
one
says
in
that.
Colorado. Lee Spirits.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for my correct sound effect here. That's the thing. No, that's not right.
That's not right.
No.
Okay, Karen says ginger.
Okay.
All right.
One vote on the ginger.
Oh yeah,
One vote
Mikhail
on the
says whiskey lemonade.
Tink. I tell you, this pool game is.
Maybe we're gonna be
lined
here
up.
for a long time. Maybe we'll open them both.
Man, who knows?
All right, we'll do the ginger for. Okay, Peter says ginger. All right, we'll do
Ginger.
the ginger first,
More votes for ginger. So
and then
I'm
we'll
going
do
with
the
it.
whiskey lemonade later.
We'll just put this away.
Put it right there in that fridge.
I will do that. You know what? I can. Even
All right, another
put
vote for
that-
ginger.
I can even put that right on.
He
ice.
still has cocktail, but mine is gone.
It's getting down. I'll tell you that much.
All right.
Another one for ginger. Hot stuff.
All right.
Yep. This is actually made by Hudson North Cider Company, which I believe is in Newburgh. They've been around for a few years, as they state.
I like it. It's spicy.
Labeled as a dry, hazy cider. True, it is a bit hazy. It is dry. And that's the way that you really want your cider to be. Unless you're like, sweet. I'm like, well, if you like it sweet, go to
know what?
town. But geez, I'm not going to serve them that way here. This is where you want to be something on the way towards like a champagne product.
I like
that
it.
kind of dry.
It's great. I'm gonna add some bitters.
Add some bitters. A good idea. And the ginger flavor is excellent in there.
How are we doing on these?
Let's
Okay.
see. Sorry, didn't realize. Let's see here.
I'm not sure that's the effect you were after, but
Not that either. Ooh. Hard done.
what?
I thought we simply had a. Oh, wait a minute. It's on yours.
Deal or no deal?
That's it. I'm just talking about the classic. Tell a joke and. There we have it.
In the wrong noisemaker.
Got the wrong noisemaker.
Oh yeah, with the bitters. This is great. It's already great, but it elevates it.
Elevation. Mm-hmm. I think I actually have just a little bit more.
Eric says,
Not
Paul,
quite a
quit
four.
playing the soundtrack to my childhood.
Wah. Tell you.
Oh, the crying baby on one of your plane trips. Oh, Errol. That's rough.
Man, that is rough. Certainly, like when
Does
you.
the ginger settle the
take off,
stomach
man.
from the cider? You know what? This probably would. I'm definitely getting a lot of ginger out of this.
It's got a good heavy hit.
Yeah.
It's ginger citrus. There is, I think, it's like a lemony peel flavor going on there.
Oh, the Bundaberg ginger beer. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have we bought that?
We have had that in the past.
Yeah. Where do they have that? Christmas tree? Or I've seen it around here.
No, because it's actually alcoholic. So I think we actually found that at the beer distributor had that, as a matter of fact, because it's an alcohol product. It's probably coming in at about 4 or 5%, so it's no more than what's in this can over here. But it's a good product. It's actually got a very nice kick to it, and it's got a little booze.
Speaking of, we were asked a couple of weeks ago, I know you're here, about the Betty Buzz mixers. And I was saying, oh, I hadn't seen those. They have them at our supermarket. I haven't purchased them yet, but we can do a taste test.
We can try that out. I'd be interested
Yeah.
to see what's what. We will try all sorts of things. The can in back of me with the whiskey lemonade was actually a promo can. If I can remember who provided that.
Lee Spirits.
Oh, Lee Spirits did provide those. So I'm actually required by law to note that that's what that was at the time. Although Lee is not currently sponsoring the show, that was a can that we happen to have that we stashed away.
Oh, okay. Mikhail says, love Betty
Betty
Buzz
Buzz.
tonic. Okay,
Tonic.
well,
Okay.
I'm going to pick some up and we'll do a taste test.
I'd be interested to check that out. Certainly, tonic is one of those things where you can just buy the plastic bottle, and these days it has a lot of the El Faco sugar, and like, yeah, I don't need that. And I wouldn't mind something that's got a very
They have
balanced
Fever
hit.
Tree tonic, too,
Yeah,
at our store.
At our supermarket has
Yeah.
the Fever Tree, which is very good. And Fever Tree has got a couple of variations out there now. They're also small bottles, so if you just want to like pour one shot for yourself.
Well, they have big bottles, too. They have the elderflower
Haven't
tonic, which
seen
I
those in a while.
quite like.
I will take that can. I am now out of this, which was very good. Actually, it was really
I
not
feel
bad at all.
like these are full-size drinks, but since they're in this little glass, we're kind of chugging them.
Well, I just had 4 rounds, and ultimately this was a 1.5 ounce base, so that was one drink. And that took me a good 30 minutes to get through. So I'll just take it easy with some of this stuff.
A good 30 minutes. That was a good 30 minutes. The other 30 minutes were horrible.
Yeah, they were terrible. Absolutely terrible. So it's a good that you followed that up with a good 30 minutes.
Maybe we'll do some Betty Buzz next week. And also for next week, Amy couldn't be with us this evening because
Correct.
she was going to a show.
Seeing
But
some
she
folks.
sent us in the mail some Pop Rocks. Remember we were talking about
Talk
Pop
about
Rocks
Pop Rocks.
recently?
So yet
She asked us to wait until she
Probably.
could be here to use them. So
Yet another of our correspondents who said, "You know what you need," and actually did the diligence.
So,
I
yeah.
gotta love that. I seriously appreciate if you see that there is a void and you want to fill it with like, here's the thing, bang.
we're experiencing too much moderation.
I can't even. I
It
cannot
has
do better than that.
alcohol.
Yeah, it's got booze. Yeah, about 4%, I think. So I seriously appreciate when people do that. We had another correspondent actually send us some spam merchandise recently.
Yes.
I have been using that
Yes, the
mug
Pop Rocks, Lisa.
basically daily when I'm working from the remote office. That's my coffee mug. It's a big mug, big thing. And there was an
Ooh.
apron too, so that's kind of perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mikhail says Fever Tree is good too, but Betty Buzz can carry even rail gin. All right, well, I look
Oh.
forward to it
Okay.
next week.
There are some
Next
real
week.
gins that are a little questionable. Sometimes it's just like Gordon's, and I think that's a pretty reputable gin. There's no problem
Spamity
with that.
spam.
Yeah, spamity. Yep. The spam apron was very nice. That was actually in response to the fact that at our event at Lake George, I lost an apron one year. And I remember asking at the desk, did anybody turn in an apron? No. I thought, so somebody threw it away, didn't they? Because they thought it was garbage. I've left things
Errol
on
loved
trains.
Pop Rocks. Me too.
Yeah, I've left things on trains and they just kind of disappear. It's a real shame that sort of thing happens. I have actually found things on trains. One day I found somebody's wallet. I said, oh, good grief, you're going to need that immediately. Took a look and said, there's the ID. Got to go find out where this person works. I think it was a work ID. So I was about to do that when I see a woman running down the platform in a panic, and I just whip out the picture. Is this you? She was like so grateful. I'm like, there you go.
Oh, and then you found. Well, okay, I gotta read Carradin's comment. Then you could talk about the time you found a phone, because that was he got rewarded.
Somebody really appreciated it. Well beyond that.
Carradin
I
says
gotta say,
Oreos have a July 4th version with Pop Rocks filling.
bang, 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 bang. Hello.
Oh, we gotta try those.
Watch
That's
out.
crazy.
It's an explosion in my mouth. Big fun.
You did not just say that.
Yeah. Bingo.
Oh, Jalisco's okay.
Rancho
What's
de
the sours?
Luna cherry. Oh.
Oh, Casamigos, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely give that a whirl.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great, Elizabeth.
And the Rancho
yeah.
de Luna mezcal.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
You gotta like mezcal, and some people out there are really against this stuff. But I would say that is something I would try.
Oh, gunpowder
Absolutely.
Irish gin. We've had that. That's
Absolutely.
great.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's a
I've had it
good
before.
one.
Yeah, that's actually very
Yep.
good. As a matter of fact.
Talk about shooting your mouth off.
Bang! Yeah.
I'm gonna try the Jalisco sour. That sounds amazing.
I like to invent my own cliches, like people who really commit the faux pas. And I'll say, so you shot yourself in the foot that was already in your mouth, and it's just like a double whammy.
Okay, so tell the story about finding the phone.
The phone was in the middle of.
Oh yeah, Peter, you're correct about mezcal.
Probably January or February in the big city, and it was cold and it was wet and messy, and it was just melty snow and just dirty snow. And I'm crossing the street. There's a phone just sitting there, about to be run over basically. So I said, "Yo, yoink!" Took it to work. It starts ringing. Somebody's talking to me in Spanish. I said, "Hi." I did my best with that, but the person was not really communicating. And I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to leave this until somebody calls and identifies what's what, and we'll figure it out. But eventually, I was kind of going through the book to see if I could find somebody saying me, and I could. This is the owner of the phone, but I was like, eventually we will. Eventually, somebody calls and says, "Hi, I'm the daughter of the guy who lost the phone." So, right, well, I am here, and if you can meet me in whenever you can, I'll come see you at the bottom of the tower. So, did. She was very grateful, and then in about 30 minutes, gave me another call. and said, well, my father like appreciates it so much he'd like to get you something. So she returns. I meet her again, and she's bearing 4 tamales. He ran a tamale cart.
Oh, so great.
And I was like,
dinner
oh, wow,
served.
this is awesome. Thank you so much.
It was amazing.
Etc. So I take these home. We have them. These are awesome. And I'm like, I didn't get the guy's name. So I don't really know where that tamale cart was, but I would have gone back to that tamale cart. That was so good, I tell you.
Oh, gunpowder tea. What is gunpowder tea?
Gunpowder tea is actually leaves that kind of like roll up into these little balls, is what they do. They look like little bits of shot, is what they do.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
gunpowder. And it has like a slightly smoky flavor, if I'm not mistaken. I think I bought some at Puerto Rico Importing some years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was loose tea, and I remember making it.
Oh,
The leaves just open right up. But, fun stuff.
I've only ever bought coffee there.
Oh, yeah. I think I bought the tea once. I used to buy our orgeat there because they carry the Tarani line, which is very good.
I gotta read Errol's comment. Errol says,
sure.
Found a coworker's wallet in a meeting. Called him and asked if we could borrow some money. When he showed up for his wallet, I asked if everyone got the security code. Michaela, was that the gunpowder gin? Yeah. It is good. With the Betty Buzz mixers, make sure you have a bottle opener with you. Ask me how I know.
Hey, listen. I always make the gag when I have a bottle and I don't seem to have an opener. I just say, just put it in your mouth, and if somebody hit the back of your head, just hit it right there. Ow, ow, no, do it again. Ow,
Oh, found it in a snowbank. Carried it. I'm glad it was found.
Seriously.
Oh, hi, Mike. Mike says, when I was a kid, my brother-in-law used to make a drink called a rusty nail. Oh, yeah, the rusty nail.
That's a very simple thing. You make that in a rocks glass. Mm-hmm. I would say big rock, about 2 ounces of a good blended.
Ooh, Gwen, thank you for the link.
Good blended scotch, and maybe half an ounce of Drambuie. Take a lemon peel, just like a section of lemon peel, and then give it a twist. Throw it on top. There you go. You can build that over a rock. Real easy.
All right, Gwen shared a link with us. Simple. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got a
Florida Creek whiskey. Oh, hello.
I know. I'm
Canada
intrigued.
maple liquor.
I'm intrigued.
I like when the link tells you what's going on
Exactly.
there. Like, that's kind of fun. We'll check that out.
Elizabeth says, I imagine little Oompa Loompas rolling the gunpowder tea bits.
Loompa-dee-doo. I'm telling you.
Screenshot.
There they are. They're like, where you did that?
Got it. All right, I got it. Speaking of, I'm fixing myself a gin and tonic.
Zivia.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
All right.
We have a friend who really enjoys the Zivia. I believe that is sweetened with stevia, thus the name.
Yep.
And usually available. I think we can find the Zivia in our parts, which is good to have.
I think so.
I mean, we're normally drinking the non-sugared soda products anyway, and I have found, I'm not going to try to proselytize for this at all, but if you enjoy Coca-Cola products, I think the Zero actually nails it in a not sugared soda. So.
Just checking things out.
There we go.
All right.
Seeing what's what.
Yep. Oh, a coworker left her phone in the bathroom. Google tracked it to another coworker's house. Awkward. Yeah. Oh, not cool.
Hello.
Not cool.
So, how did this end up there?
Oh, there used to be a restaurant there called the Rusty Nail.
Oh.
Eric says, their meatloaf was flavor therapy supreme, I bet.
A joint that doesn't make a good meatloaf should go out of business. It's kind of like a diner that can't make, a decent omelet with home fries, that kind of thing. If you can't do that, then get out. You're lost, It's like, I went to a Dunkin' and the coffee was terrible. Oh, so they went out of business 5 minutes later? What?
People go to Dunkin' for the coffee.
For the coffee, People go to McDonald's for coffee. It's like, it's actually good coffee.
It is good coffee.
It really is good coffee.
Well, I decided my line, I don't know, for some reason this weekend, we were meeting up with people this weekend, and I decided my line was going to be, when they asked, how did you know where I was? Oh, I put a tracker in your phone.
Yeah.
I mean...
What I meant to say was...
I just guessed.
No, not in your shoe. Your shoe. It wasn't your phone. It was your shoe. That's the thing. But I'm not wearing those shoes. Well, that's why I thought you were in your hotel. So...
I put a tracker in your phone.
So, big fun. Yeah, we actually had a big adventure where we actually went to the big city, where I am a couple days a week anyway. I was there yesterday doing the old office. This, of course, is my office. This is my standing desk. Normally, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a great hike, And when you're done, when it's like 5:30 and it's time to shove off, it's like, okay, log off, close the laptop, and then, honey, what would you like to mix? I'm already there. That's kind of great. Is there any day drinking? No, of course not. I got to work. Jeez.
No one asked.
If I'm working in a bar, people might think, well, hello. No, never interested. We got work to get to. And then we have work to get to set up this broadcast, and there we go. And then we are doing like evening drinking. Well,
I'm much more about the caffeine during the day.
that's the thing. Gotta
I need the
upward.
caffeine to get me through the day so
You've,
that I can get to the cocktails at night.
You got to get upwards before the rest of the story. It's too true. And so we actually were
Gotta,
in.
what's the line? Gotta scratch and claw your way up the ladder.
Scratch your wheel up the ladder.
You gotta scratch and claw your way up that ladder.
That was the line from George Jefferson. Bingo. So we actually had gone into the big city to see a show, and on the way we had a few fun adventures in eating, including the excellent Havana Central, which is up in, well, basically theater district.
Ooh, okay, Gwen.
actually.
I'm gonna
Fun place, good drinks, good
grab
food.
that link too.
Oh, another one.
Yep, I'm gonna
I'll check
grab
that
them
out.
both. Thank you.
But all started out the weekends dining at one of our go-tos, which I highly recommend, provided that you actually will do some carnivore, and that, of course, is the classic Keen Steakhouse. Can't say enough about this place.
Well, and if you don't eat meat, which I
There's,
totally get, you can
stay at the bar.
sit at the bar. You can get a plate of fries. We've
You
done
can get a
that.
plate of fries. Yeah,
You
they're actually very good fries. You know?
spinach is incredible. It's not vegan.
It's not
but,
vegan.
But
Definitely
yeah.
some cream in there, but it's one of those like steakhouse spinach things which you go, wow, you guys have nailed this shot.
Yes.
Really well done.
Yep.
Fair amount of garlic going on there. And if you are actually okay to indulge in the little carne, this place does it with abandon. It's like, that's a serious steak. Now I go there because this is the only place I know that will make mutton. And she is on record as saying she will not eat baby animals. Agreed.
I won't eat baby animals.
So I think, well, then
Don't eat baby animals.
give it a chance to grow up, and then we go to town. So I will do mutton because they will do it.
I had
They're more mature.
shrimp.
And it's a really good cut. So it's actually I actually get like the half size because the full size is huge. It's enormous.
Actually, I had
Good for
shrimp.
two.
I had shrimp and shrimp
You had shrimp on
because
shrimp.
I had a shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
And then I had shrimp. Because basically I could eat shrimp for every meal for the rest of my life and be a perfectly happy person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's a
yeah,
good place to
Gettysburg
be.
Ma'am. Yeah, I don't know where she is tonight, but Gettysburg Ma'am, if you're watching this
hello.
later, hello.
Hello.
How was the
Definitely.
shrimp? It was amazing.
Large and
They
good.
were huge.
Peter,
they
I
were
believe that you
huge.
will not eschew a good cut of boeuf from time to time.
It was good.
And if you have a chance to be at this location, I think you would enjoy this very much. It's very clubby. It's very old school. It's one of those places where above the bar, which is definitely dating from the 1880s, there is a
Yeah,
reclining.
Lisa doesn't either.
There is a reclining lady who has no clothes on. That's just one
Yeah,
of
they
those
have
things.
a giant nude
Giant
above
nude.
the bar.
And that is Miss Keen's. And I think that's very comforting.
Errol says, I just need Lisa to get me through the day. Sometimes it's caffeine. Sometimes it's who made this mess. I blame it on our bird, Josie.
Yeah, I think she's kind of figuring that part out.
Oh.
I think she's figuring that part out now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, flamingo pink.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know. I would turn flamingo. I would happily turn flamingo pink.
And
I
be
love
just fine
shrimp.
with it,
I love shrimp so
But
much.
you haven't yet, which means you're not getting your U.S. RDA of, crustaceans. I'm just saying.
No.
We had,
I refrain from comment.
I had my U.S. RDA by having some oysters, which are excellent and fresh there, and you can get two different kinds. And honestly, the price is kind of like market price when you're getting such things. They are raw. I don't shy away from raw shellfish, as long as it's a joint like that. Because that thing was shucked right before they brought it out. So
Can't afford anything but baby steak, the smallest ones.
ah.
Yeah, we don't go there. We'll go there for a drink. For an actual meal, it's kind of few and far between because it's like expensive.
It's not a bargain joint by any means. There is no such thing. with this
Yeah,
kind of
no.
a place. But here's my position on such places. If you're going to actually bother to slaughter a large animal like that, don't get the cheap cuts. There's no point to that whatsoever. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of expense. It's a lot of
Well, they
worldly
don't.
resources to
They
produce
don't.
that much beef. And I say, if you're going to bother at all, get a good cut, well grilled. And that's the only way to do it.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, the Bewitched one, Elizabeth. Yeah, that was great, right?
Oh, yeah. Big fun.
I love the Dead Celebrity Cookbook. So good.
Always big fun. Always big fun. But yeah, I will. I'll do a steak at a place like that, or I'll do it
Does
here.
the
And
steakhouse
that's
have
about it.
crab legs?
I don't believe that they do.
I,
Am I
you know,
wrong?
well, their menu is seasonal, so
They might come in because those are seasonal.
let
That's
me
true.
see, because they change it
Yeah.
up pretty often. I'm gonna go look.
Well, let's take a look and see what it is. I know that they certainly have that shrimp cocktail on hand, and they're huge. They certainly have a shrimp entree, and it's very reasonable and nice.
Let's see.
In their raw bar,
They have jumbo lump
lump crab
crab
cocktail.
cocktail.
Crab cocktail. Okay.
They
And the shrimp
have
cocktail.
that's on the raw bar.
Seafood tray: oysters, clams, lobster,
Oh
shrimp.
my gosh!
Wow.
I need to
Well,
be
that's big.
rich, you all.
Telling you,
I need to be a rich person because
gotta make this thing work.
I have.
Telling you.
Well, I think I talked about this recently. I discovered I have champagne taste on a beer budget. So,
Doing our dangdest.
yeah.
I'm telling you, we're doing our dangdest.
Yeah.
Didn't our correspondents have the lobster bisque?
They did have the lobster bisque. We'll have
I
to.
believe that went down well.
Yeah.
Yep. There is something
Okay.
called a taste of mutton, which
They
is
have-
significantly less than the full serving.
They
in
have
terms of
the
quantity and price.
sautéed jumbo shrimp with spinach. That's what I had.
Yeah.
And then they also have pan-seared Arctic
Arctic
char,
char.
and authentic
Dover
Dover
sole.
sole.
Wow. Ooh, that's very dear.
And then they have lobster. So they have crab on the appetizer menu.
Yeah.
But their appetizers are big enough to be a meal, really.
You do very well with that. Frequently, we have taken food away from this place. But if you moderate it properly, then you do just fine, and you have that. And I certainly do not believe in waste. If you're going to actually order that much food, eat it. So we just be careful with it. But they also have an excellent drinks menu. You can go off of their normal selections,
Yep.
and they don't bat an eyelash. This is the kind of joint that I don't think has a French 75 on the menu. But if you ask for it, they say, okay, and just bring it. They know what's what.
Yep.
It's also the kind of joint where they would say, would you like that with gin?
We're saving up to be rich.
Saving
Taking
up to be rich.
longer than I thought. I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
I tell you. Well, if you do play the lotto, I hope your numbers come in at the midpoint
know.
and nails it shut. That's a nice place to be. But otherwise, we wish you all fantastic success in what you do.
Exactly.
Because why not? You're all working hard.
Exactly.
We're working hard. You're working hard. Let's make it happen, people. Bing, bing, bing.
I got the brains. You got the looks. Let's make lots of money.
There we go. So, what were we in the big city to see at the old Madison Square Garden? This is the second time ever we've actually been to the garden, and this is within 8
Within
months
a
or
year,
something.
yeah.
Within a year. We were there on Friday to see, if you watch the schedule, this was Depeche Mode. So, oh, good grief. Yeah, we saw those guys. They put on a really heavy show.
Don't forget that cousin come tax time. I like Elizabeth's comment there.
Just saying.
It was a great show.
Really
And
good show. Really good show.
we finally went to Sunken Harbor.
In Brooklyn, another steakhouse, a classic steakhouse, had been
Well,
there
no, it wasn't.
about
It's
the same
above a
amount of
steakhouse.
time. No, the place is not actually within the steakhouse. It is it is an upper room
They don't.
inside an 1860s era building.
They don't call it a tiki bar. It's a tropical bar. It's really a nautical
Yeah, it's really an nautical
bar.
It-
But
it looks an awful lot like the Rec Bar at the Maika.
yes.
Maika, of course, is a tiki bar, but their primary bar at the beginning of the place is actually nautical themed. It's designed to look like
It was
the interior of a ship.
amazing, and you have to get there.
It's got like the slanted roofs and everything.
tiny, so you have to get there
It's pretty small.
before opening and line up. But we
Line up,
did.
wait.
We did.
Wait for the mater to come and actually take your number,
Mm-hmm.
and she calls you in one by one, and then you go up. And it's one of these places that's like dimly lit, has a serious
Oh.
Trader Sam's vibe going on, And the drinks are spot on, and they've got food.
Keep forgetting to
say.
play. Errol, that's like us. I don't have lottery tickets either. I know. I should.
I know.
I should.
Every time it gets up huge, people are like, "You to buy a ticket," and I think,
Bobby, where are you located?
I don't want chances.
Bobby says there used to be really nice restaurants around here. Great food, reasonably priced, happy hours. Unfortunately, they're long gone. Oh.
"Oh, gee,
Where are you?
shucks," because we actually have a variety of places within our shooting distance. A fair number of places which are actually just breweries, which happen to have a pub menu. There is our local winery, cidery, and now distillery, as a matter of fact, Warwick, which makes those excellent liqueurs. Now you can go there for just sort of like a Saturday, and it's going to be pretty mobbed on a Saturday.
And pizzas.
And you can have some samples, and then they have pizzas. It's really good looking food. I'm not sure we've had a pizza there.
No, we had pizza there.
We did pizza there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I seem to recall that
Western
it was very good food.
Wisconsin. Okay.
Got it. Oh, gee. Seems to me Wisconsin ought to be able to be serving you some excellent fare.
I know.
What's up with that?
Right?
What's up? I tell you. Well, I've been talking about steakhouses and all that, and like I said, if I'm going to bother at all, it had better be old school. It had better be pretty clubby. Banquettes, red carpets, leather chairs, that kind of stuff. Waiters in uniforms kind of thing. And it had better just be like, aged beef kind of stuff. And raw bar, anything. That spinach, you got to have it. So that kind of thing, I'm all over it. There are some joints in the big city that I think I've heard really negative things about. I'm not going to go there. And some of them are pretty old. But our favorite is still what I'm talking about, Cane's. We go there. They keep up their standards. The place nails it shut every time. We actually usually see their maitre d', and he usually shakes my hand and says hi. Like he recognizes me from going there a number of times. I'm not a high roller. I'm a medium roller at best. So the fact that they do actually
Medium low roller.
medium low roller,
Medium low roller.
And the fact that they will recognize their regular customers and just give a shake, I think, is very important. It's all about that service.
Yep.
I mean,
Well, sometimes just going there for a drink.
yeah,
Because they have the bar is separate from the restaurant, so you can go. And they do have a food menu in the bar, so sometimes I think last time we were in there, we got a plate of fries.
yes, we did.
And it was huge. It was dinner.
We've had more than that. They will literally serve you what's on the menu in the bar area. I mean, there's just very narrow, but you can just grab a plate and have some
They
things.
call it
and you're
progress. My arse. Oh, don't you hate that?
I tell you. Progress is frequently measured by the number of chain stores that they've been able to cram into your strip mall. And I say, the true measure of quality is, has the place been there for 75 years and is it still thriving? That means that something's going right. There's a kick. And actually, there are plenty of places that we know that are maybe 2 years old that are just doing it and nailing it shut. I was just talking about this cider. They've been doing it since 2019. This is excellent product, so I'm glad to have it. And it's about to be gone. Oh no, it is gone. There we go.
All right, I feel like enough time has passed. I can make my other drink.
Yes. It's good to have a spacer. I'm happy with it.
I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I wanted to make a lost cocktail, as we promised. The key of H. Okay, so
So,
let me get a shaker. Is there one available to you?
there are a number of shakers available to me.
I need an old one. Vintage. Is that vintage?
That's vintage.
Yes. Okay.
It's got
All
this
right,
heavy-
good.
Now, you
I said we
do
were going to do
need-
vintage tonight,
You
so.
do need the... Are we slow on
Yeah.
strainers? Here we go.
Yeah, well, there's some in the
Can't
kitchen.
possibly be
All right,
strainers.
all right. Here we go. So this one is also from that Lost Cocktails book. The Bebo cocktail, which means frog
Devil means frog.
in Indian language.
Oh, how about that?
I
Got that.
forget which one.
I'm looking at this and like, that's actually kind of a mix-up of the two things we made.
You brought the honey mix,
As a matter
right?
of fact, I sure did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
And the
Bebo
OJ?
cocktail calls for thank you,
The gin is right there at your hand.
an ounce and a half of gin. I'm gonna use the measure on the glass.
You do you, boo.
Did you just call me boo?
Yes, I did.
Ounce and a half gin and 1 ounce fresh lemon juice. That's a lot of lemon.
A lot of
I'm
lemon.
not gonna lie.
Heavy hit.
Okay. Fortunately, I like it.
Truth.
A full ounce. I'm making it the way the recipe appeared.
Hey.
Ooh, and that's it for the lemon juice. If we need more, gotta go squeeze more.
My next involves lime.
1/2 ounce honey. I'm using honey mix because it's easier to use.
Honey mix is nothing more than honey, water, 1-to-1.
Yep.
We have a water filter on our
So,
tap. I
1/2
recommend
ounce.
that if your water tastes as chlorine as ours does. It does wonders. It's really not that much in terms of money, and it makes a really huge difference. I feel like I'm drinking
you.
decent water these days.
And 2 teaspoons.
Cutting the honey with water
Orange
means that you can
juice.
use it in cocktails. Otherwise, you're waiting half an hour. Anticipation.
Oh, Lisa
until it gets in
loves
the glass,
gin
and
and
it won't even
rum.
mix down properly. Gin and rum.
Oh, Peter says, I measure progress by how many seafood establishments are around. I
Ah,
love
now you're
that.
talking. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
2 teaspoons.
We actually gained one in M-Town
Do you want
recently.
to? Can you go scroll back?
Sure.
Well, no, I think we see them. Wait.
Got it? Okay.
Mike says, "What's the name of the restaurant you're talking about?" Oh, Keen's
Keen's.
Steakhouse
Keen's
in
Steakhouse.
New York City.
Yeah. That
Or
is
Keen's
on
Chop House.
34th?
Sometimes it's 36.
36, there we go.
Sometimes it's called Keen's Steakhouse, and sometimes it's called Keen's Chop House. But
It is a classic chop house from back in the day, meaning like this is the kind of joint that would have been serving you a lot of like lamb chops and well, in this case, mutton chops is what they're really specializing in.
can I hand you both?
Older lamb and probably pork chops and that kind of thing.
Okay,
And of course, steaks.
this is going to be a little strange, but I figured I'd try it.
Worth a try.
Yep. All right. I will take one of those glasses, please.
One of those standard
Another-
size cocktail
Another
glasses.
Noritake.
I don't know any manufacturer who is currently making
you.
these, but I'm sure that I could
Someone
be
should. They make a lot of
proven
money.
to be ignorant if somebody simply says,
All right.
"Oh, this place sells them." This is a 2-ounce cocktail glass. That's what
Bobby
we're
says
talking
we
about.
still have enough cheese here to constipate a herd of elephants.
Oh, yowza! I tell you.
You know what? Why don't you hand me that little pitcher back? It might be easier to pour from than this glass, so I'll just trade you.
Might well.
Thank you.
There you go. And if you get a tiny
Maybe
bit
I
more
won't.
of the lemon,
There we go. Maybe
So
I was gonna
what?
say maybe I won't pour all over the bar. This way.
there we go.
Thank you.
And boom.
I'll hand you this. Thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you.
And done.
Man, just thinking about that bar again that we were at this past weekend.
I actually have a place to bus to over here.
Garnish
which
with a
is
cherry.
The top of a hi-fi unit, and she has a table to her right, which is where things bus from.
So this
So
little
there you have
pick,
it.
this little vintage pick has grapes. They're white, but
Oh yes, that's a fun
it's
one.
very cute.
That's a fun
All
one.
right,
And
it's
there-
very
and
springy.
If you're serving brandy
It's
drinks,
very
hello,
springy.
kind of
Right.
perfect.
That's pretty good, actually. Ah!
Sorry, I have to be careful.
I
here.
expected it to be unbalanced, but I'm kind of happy with it.
That's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
I am pretty happy with that.
That was the Bebo cocktail.
Bebo. That's something you could ask for in a place and they would just scratch the head.
Hi, Vegas AF.
But somebody might know what you're talking about. Look it up, and it's easy enough. Pretty simple pieces that are in there. So,
What vintage value do you vibe off of? I like that.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, exactly.
It was smoky old fashioned last Saturday. That sounds
Oh.
good.
I actually was at the bar that we're at, the home bar that we were at, which was like, wow, this is better than so many bars I've ever been in. They, you know, it's just one of our friends who has been doing this as long as we have, and is just hitting it hard. Bought a house a few years back, a lot of space in it, very big,
Yeah, it's
old
huge.
Edwardian era house that is like massive, fantastic rooms, great detail, and of course, really cheap to heat in the winter. Anyway, I made that gag to the proprietress, and she actually got the joke. But in the meantime, they have all that space. They have a huge amount of space in their basement area, which they're utilizing well. And he said, well, this is just going to be a bar. So they set that up. It's looking awesome. They got that going on. And he's just got all of his premixes going and all of his ingredients. And I was just talking about what he had back there. And I was like, well, comparing this, that, and that. And I was just talking, we got on the subject of these bitter liquors. And, of course, the one that comes up frequently. Any of our correspondents recognize the term Malort. You folks, Midwest, we're talking some Wisconsin people. Some people who may be like circa Detroit, some people who may be circa Chicago. I'm sure that you heard of Jeppson's Malort. This is one of those things which people will like say, have you tried this? And they're kind of daring me. Because what is this stuff anyway? I think it's a biker bar dare. You go to the bar, it's a bunch of tough guys. They're like, have some of this. We'll see how manly you are. Well, yeah, she would take that stuff down like a Marine, and they'd be like, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to buy you a shot. And what it is one of these, liquors that's just flavored with a hell of a lot of bitter agent, probably a lot of gentian, which is what you put in an Angostura bitters, an old-fashioned style of bitter, which you put in almost any bitter, frankly.
Yep.
It's astringent. It's heavy. The root is just like, whoa, it's designed to be sort of medicinal.
Ooh.
And this stuff has a heavy hit of it. So if you take a shot of it, it's like that is a proof of a little bit of courage. And
Semper Fi.
Yeah, Semper Fi indeed. I talk about how we actually hit Porco, good old Porco's in Cleveland, which is a great space. They've done such awesome detail. I cannot say enough about this place. And, if they're listening, listen. This is still awesome, and so many details that they've managed to get as salvage from lost tiki bars. So the fact that they've got them on display, like they have the doors from that place in Cleveland, that's just great.
Mike says, sounds great. I love those leather upholstered, dimly lit ancient caverns. Me too.
Oh yeah, no question.
Me too.
We lost one in San Diego a few years back. That was Albi's Beef in.
Oh my God, that place was amazing.
Man, the last time we were there with Jason from Bachelor Pad magazine. He was like, I never knew about this place. I finally found my happy place. I'm like, oh, it just hurts the heart.
Yeah.
Because even then we knew the place was on its way out. It's so terrible. And that was just all red banquettes, a number of nudes on the walls, just like steakhouse extraordinaire.
Someone playing piano.
And somebody playing a little jazz piano. It was just so great.
Oh. Eric
very
says,
low-key place.
Kelly should just scarf it down and let out a manly belch.
Yeah, What are you looking at?
Maybe later.
So
Maybe later.
Perhaps later. So that's Jeppson's Malort. It's like it's designed to be a real dare. People will talk about this stuff like it's the most evil thing. The funny thing is that when we tried it at Porco,
oh my gosh,
it was off of their wall of pain. I love that they have a wall of pain.
I know.
And like, I never tried this stuff, so I'm like, yeah, sure, we try it. It's not the most bitter stuff we'd ever had. By far, not the most bitter stuff. I think that was probably Sfumato. Yeah, that's definitely more bitter. So we're like, yeah, that's kind of okay. And like, he looks at us like, we're just strangers. But yeah, that's.
Oh, Errol,
well
that's
done.
so funny.
I'm not going to say that the stuff is in any way for the weak-hearted. This is really astringent stuff.
I love that a kid recommended it to you,
bitter.
Errol.
I love the bitter.
Bobby says, we played at a bar in the 70s with chicken wire across the front of the stage.
Oh.
Wow.
Isn't that like in the Blues Brothers and the Redneck Inn there, where it's like, that's just, you know what that is? That's designed to keep the bottles from hitting you.
Exactly.
Of course, like, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, Bobby. But for the rest of the audience, why do you need chicken wire? Well, just in case.
Oh, the smoky old. I love the idea of the smoky old fashioned. That sounds great.
Excellent. Look, you could actually do that with a scotch. You could do that with a mezcal. There are other smoky things out there. I was just name checking Sfumato. Sfumato Rabarbaro is made, I believe, by, is that Cappelletti? Yeah, it's actually it's an Amaro.
I forget.
The Rabarbaro refers to the rhubarb base. Mm-hmm. The Sfumato refers to the smokiness. This is like astringent from the rhubarb, smoky from the smoke.
Bob's Country Bunker.
Long bitter finish. You really have to have some fortitude to take this stuff on. And I like it a lot. You like it a lot. This is fun stuff.
Yep.
We like to play with stuff like that, and you know that you're getting it's got this sort of medicinal thing. It's also kind of good for your digestion because it inspires your internals to do their job.
Bob's Country Bunker.
That's what this stuff's all about. That's what Amari are all about. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to catch up.
there we go.
Hold on.
Nice Polonaise. Rat Pack,
Oh.
handlebars. Oh, polka room.
Oh
yeah!
man, it's not there anymore. Oh, Carradine. Oh.
What a shucks. What
Hi,
a shucks.
Laura.
Double deuce.
It's called Double
Love
Deuce.
the name.
Oh.
Love
All
the
right.
name.
I don't. You're talking amongst yourselves. I love it. Okay, good.
Okay. Oh, listen, you're talking about a drink that has smoke in it. That's a big thing these days too. We've had a
yeah.
number of drinks that are like that. If the thing is served in what looks like a cannonball, it's always fun to lift off the lid and have it go. You know.
Yep.
Big fun. You can buy a home kit that actually allows you to smoke things. We have a correspondent in Montreal who did. And suddenly he was smoking everything. And I'm like, okay. But a few things is awesome. A few things is a lot of fun.
Okay, I gotta read this one. Errol says, my brother saw Huey Lewis play in Germany. He was impressed how Huey dodged the glow sticks thrown at him.
In better glow than beer.
That's true. That is true.
This is why a lot of places don't serve beer in bottles. They're serving in a plastic cup because patrons will get a little irascible and they start throwing things. I tell you. If you listen to Stooges live recordings from the 1970s, you'll hear that a lot of beer bottles were being thrown at the time. Oh, big fun. Any Stooges fans here? I know Peter will speak to that. Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot
Bar
of fun.
and movie
back in the day.
Roadhouse. Yep.
Oh, big stuff.
Polka rooms. Oh.
Oh, man. Kids. What's the matter with kids these days? I need a thing.
Yeah,
I
you
need
do.
a thing, and I probably
You
need
do.
to visit it.
You
So,
have another one, too.
The other thing that I found was a little thing called Have a Heart. Have a Heart was apparently named after a 1930s motion picture whom nobody remembers, so I'm not going to tell you to look it up. But if you do, tell me about it. I don't have a single clue.
I just think of the trap.
Also-
The Have a Heart trap.
Oh, Have a Heart, which doesn't kill. So I could use that gin again. Once again,
That.
with the gin.
Oh, we still have some.
We still have enough to
What
make
do
this
you
drink.
know?
I'm about to kill it. Here we go. This, again, the Dorothy Parker Rose Petal Gin, New York Distilling. Excellent product. I speak highly of New York Distilling. They have fun bottles, too. There's just you could kind of cut the bottom off this and make an
fancy.
excellent rocks glass out of it. Isn't this cool? I gotta like that.
You could make a rocks glass out of it if you cut the bottom off.
Take a look.
Oh, you would use the bottom part as the glass. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, see? You cut,
like-
cut it right there.
No, I was thinking you would like cut it off and like, oh, it's open at the bottom.
Gee, this glass has a problem with it. No, I'm talking about get one of those bottle
Oh, did
cutters
you
from
use it
Ronco and then pop it. Yeah, this is it. You're done. It's such a shame when this sort of thing happens on air, people.
Why waste?
Why waste? That's what I say.
You
Later on,
also
this will accumulate a little more, and I'll take care of
You
that.
also need the Swedish punch.
I do need the punch. So this is a drink that actually required the Swedish punch. Here's a product that's been off the market forever. Suddenly, it's back on because of Kronen. Oh, what do you know? Product of Sweden. It really is Swedish punch. What the hell is Swedish punch? It's an aromatized rum. And this just dates from the period of time when rum was cheap and widely available, and you'd have it in your hole in your chest.
Chug. There's nothing
And somebody
to
was throwing some
chug.
stuff. Chug, chug, chug. Yeah, like drip, drip. Okay.
Hi, Casey.
Hey, Case.
All right. Okay.
So anyway.
3/4 of an ounce.
Oh, the Swedish
Swedish
punch. I happen to have that 3/4 measure right here. What do you know? So gin and Swedish punch, that's a weird thing because this is a rum based, that's a gin based. Who was just talking about liking both the gin and rum? Was that Lisa?
Lisa.
Hello. So there we go. You notice that the top of this actually has this little blue bit. The whole ninja tip is that this is one of those very narrow corks that's impossible to get out. This bit is that rubber band that comes with lobsters. So you save that, pop it on here, and it allows you to pop that
This
off.
makes me think of broccoli
Ninja tip.
wad. Did anyone ever
Broccoli
see that?
wad.
Broccoli wad.
So
You need the lime.
I've got the lime right here. 3/4 ounce lime juice. Okay. I've got just enough, don't I? Perfect. Perfect. 1/4 ounce of the grenadine. I happen to have pomegranate juice. I'm just going to use that.
We don't have grenadine. That's
No.
Disturbing?
I thought I had made some up. That's too much. That's perfect. And there we go. Shake with ice, strain into a cocktail glass.
Did you make yourself a lime wedge?
I sure did.
Ronco bottle cutter.
Oh.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. $5.99. Yes. Casey, do you remember that Ronco also sold a record cleaner?
Oh, Mike, that sounds amazing. Hold on. Mike says, one of my go-to drinks is a Manhattan made with Angel's Envy, Loose Stout, and Antica with orange bitters. Yes.
Loose Stout
yes to all of that.
is an excellent
Yes.
product. They make an excellent, what am I thinking of, like French-style vermouth,
Yes.
like the dry vermouth. And the Antica, of course, is just a classic sweet vermouth. Classic. It's really an Amaro.
I don't like the inside of the bottle. Earl says, what a waste. I'm still trying to figure out how to lick the inside of the bottle.
You know, if I could actually put a cut in there and pop the bottom
Hi,
off
vintage
of
camper
this
gal.
bottle, I'd be in great shape because it would make a really good glass.
Oh, I'm so
honestly.
glad you're here. Good to see you.
Fantastically. And if you act now,
A set of Ginsu knives.
and Dime here can actually tell you something about Ginsu knives. They are not used in professional kitchens. However, they're fun, aren't they? You know.
Are they? I don't know.
And you also want to grab your
Chill glass.
standard size cocktail glass and strain your cocktail glass. And the final instruction with this, I can do, because I prepared it, is you want to garnish with a lime wedge. Have a lime wedge right here.
This is pretty full. Be careful.
Yes, it is. Very carefully. Thank you for the assist. I appreciate
I'm
that.
afraid it's going to fall off.
Okay, and
Embarrassingly. Eric says, my father actually bought a Ginsu knife. I think his mom had one.
yeah, she did. She did. I remember at the time that they came out, she picked one up. They were cheap. And the whole business about, like, it can cut through a tomato, it can cut through a tin can. I'm not entirely sure about that.
Oh, that's good.
But it would keep an edge for a long time.
This is good.
This is quite nice.
This was
And
the
I tell you, it's very aromatic because
have a
of
heart
the punch.
cocktail.
Of the punch. Have a heart.
1.5 ounces of gin, 3/4 of an ounce Swedish punch, 3/4 of an ounce fresh lime juice, a quarter ounce grenadine. Shake with ice, strain into a cocktail glass, and garnish with a lime wedge. They've been all good tonight. I know I'm jinxing us, but all the drinks tonight have been good.
I'm not going to make an Alamaguzlum no matter who asks for it because I've
Tinselteeny.
already done it on the air. It was bad. I'm going to try it again with a different base and see where we go.
It was the
from
most
there.
cartoony thing I ever saw.
Hilarious.
I just remember going through, like, I don't know, we were at his mother's house and I was washing dishes or something. It was a knife that said Ginsu. I was like, your mother has a Ginsu knife.
The Ginsu originally was a long knife that looked like a bread knife. And it was designed to, like, cut, like, it had a very fine serrated edge that would cut anything. And then, like, a sort of a bread knife cut. That would cut
Dean
that
cuts all his citrus with a Ginsu knife.
Ginsu.
Okay, I don't have any,
That's
but
great.
we should have taken your mom's.
I think
don't know.
that K&G actually have a set of some Ginsu that look more like a
Tiki
Sentoku.
Paka, welcome
Yeah.
back.
Hello!
Casey just opened Pandora's box.
Oh, boy.
Have you both ever made a bad drink? Why, yes, we have.
Made one like last week.
Yeah.
No,
it was
2
weeks ago. He made
weeks
one
ago.
2 weeks ago that was god awful.
From this very book that I'm
yeah,
talking
it wasn't.
about.
It was not his original recipe.
No. This is ascribed to, I believe, J.P. Morgan. And I kind of doubt that Morgan had anything to do with this or would have actually consumed them. And this book actually speaks highly of it. And I think, no, this is not a good drink. No, this is really bad. It's got weird stuff in it, and it looks like it doesn't work. And
it was called Almaguzlum.
Alamaguzlum. It's a great name for a drink. You think that just like magic is going to occur. It would be magic if this actually ended up tasting good.
Horrible.
So.
And then I made one several years back called the Tinselteeny. This was at Christmas time. And I don't know what got into me, but
You decided to use a drink with mint for Christmas.
yeah, it had mint and celery bitters, and it was so gross.
Bad news.
It was awful.
Whenever something like this occurs on the air, I say, well, the drains need cleaning, and away you go. This is all you can do with such things.
Tinselteeny should have been good,
Yeah.
but it was horrible.
Here's the funny thing. Several of our correspondents remember that like nothing else, like the Tinseltini.
After a while, it's not so bad. Embarrassingly.
But as we do on the air, if we make the drink and it's terrible, we will frequently say, all right, toss that, try it again with something else, and suddenly it's good. Tinseltini 2 was a very good drink. I'll bear that in mind. You just can't use celery bitters with mint. That's a real no-go.
All right, I got to think about this one. Eric says, here's a poll. What was your favorite hour-long dial an 800 number to order product that you saw back in the day? And don't just say Mr. Microphone.
Well, Mr. Microphone was not an hour-long item. That was something that was just one of these like 10-minute Ronco things. But those infomercial things, oh, good grief. They were selling everything, weren't they? This could be anything. Interesting.
What did I want to order back in the day?
I've got to think about that.
I'm stumped.
I'm still on Ronco because I'm sure that Casey remembers that they sold a record cleaner back in the day.
Oh.
That was called they simply called it the Ronco record vacuum. I called it the Vacarec. And you looked at the thing, you're like, that's more like the Wreck-a-Wreck.
Lisa says, Ronco did a lot for us back in the day.
Ron Popeil.
Oh my
One
God.
Of the
okay, maybe not hour
salesmen
long,
ever.
maybe minute long, he says. Okay.
Oh,
all
yeah,
right,
okay,
all right,
yep,
all
there
right.
you go, there
Celery
you go.
bitters. It was awful, Casey.
60
it
seconds.
was awful.
Yeah, not good. Not good. If you want us to make
Oh,
it for
Astronaut's Wives Club. I love that book, Bobby. Yeah, that book is great.
Oh, yeah.
They drink a lot of gin and tonics. Yeah,
Damn Skippy
I love
they
that
did.
book.
Well, they were spending a lot of time in Florida where it's like long and hot.
The
so
everything bag. Oh, I don't.
Mm.
I'm thinking this wasn't. I don't think this was. This was later. Okay, this was. It was a full-on adult when this one came out. But that thing that you put in your purse to organize it, and then you would just lift it out and put it in your other purse.
Oh yeah, pretty good idea.
Oh, what was
Frankly.
that thing called? I was into that.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it, but I was fascinated.
Yeah, well, you regret it. You want one now.
I kind of do.
Actually. I run on the same shoulder bag whenever I have to hit the road every time, and I just keep everything in there. And then when we are just doing an event or something, and I'm just taking the same bag because it's got all of my accoutrements. It's got my pocket knife. It's got my first aid stuff. It's got my, acid blocker pills. It's got everything. So I just take that thing. It's got the vitamins.
Elizabeth says, I remember when you'd get hit up with a prize ticket at like Sam's Club only to line up for a glorified Ginsu knife barker. That happened to us. And we're looking at each other, do we have to stay? Like, no, you don't have to stay.
Take the knife and go. We got the knife. It's
We did get the knife.
It's like a little paring knife. It was okay. Gotta say, we have a set of knives that I sharpen, and I recommend such things. If you want
Ronco
serious
did sell
knives,
everything.
If you want serious knives, then carbon steel knives are the way to go.
Oh, the Flowbee haircut device for pets too. Oh,
for pets, of course. Gee, I just fixed the vacuum today because the hose was all shot.
Casey says, I'd buy a 5-record set dedicated to the smooth sounds of the 70s. Me too.
Hey,
I love me some yacht rock.
Casey, that set of super soul sounds from the 70s is so excellent. Can I borrow it? There we go.
Yeah, okay. You gotta tell us if you get that one. Mikhail says,
Bingo.
I'm holding up my end of the deal.
Casey, of course, I convinced recently.
The Michelle purses.
I convinced Casey to recently buy the serious version of the Ronco record cleaner made by VPI, and that thing is intense. That will get them clean and it won't harm anything. We have one ourselves,
Oh my gosh.
and I use it.
Karen says, my dad worked at Cape Kennedy for NASA. They
Whoa.
lived near Alvin, Texas in the 1960s.
Hello.
Wow.
Wow,
That
so
is cool.
Yeah. You understand that we had originally a missile range in Florida because you had this like vast stretch of ocean to shoot off on, and then you had a space control in Houston because the president was from Texas. That's why. But that's a good idea, frankly. Spread these things out. I believe Huntsville, Alabama, used to make rocket parts. That was actually a very high-tech town. Also, a very well-preserved antebellum town I have visited. It's lovely. There's actually a lot to recommend.
Long live K-Tel. Guess they didn't.
KTEL is still around and still selling music.
What?
Believe this.
What?
Believe this.
What?
They're still doing it. They have evolved into
hold
whatever.
on.
I don't know if they're streaming or what, but things are still happening.
What the hell would they make now? All right.
Yeah, back in the day, they just
have
licensed
to
stuff
do
and put
it.
it on
I have to do
cheap
it.
records, cassettes, 8-track tapes. Remember, the 8-track tapes were $1 more. So I love
on.
those
I
two
have to do
those
it.
2 album sets that had all these stuff. I had a friend who actually had a 2 8-track set of Tom Jones, and each one was like 10 minutes long.
Their website
What?
says KTEL International, the compilation company.
I'm telling you.
Oh, you can stream. Wait. Okay. They seem to have pivoted.
They've got things going on over here.
Yeah.
They got the entire box tops and chubby checker.
I guess you can just buy streaming stuff
Probably.
from KTEL. It's the mini pop.
The
kids.
mini pops? I knew a kid who was a mini pop. Hilarious.
Well, they're still around.
Apparently
still
there's a
poppin'.
new edition of mini pops.
They're still popping.
I remember he had been a mini pop, and he had actually sung on these records. And years later, when he wanted copies, he went to the company, and they're like, "Oh, we erase all those masters." I think that's BS.
That's
but
terrible.
It's really bad if they did. I mean, what the hell? Were you saving tape or something? Stupid.
Okay, so they have a section on the KTEL website, featured sync placements. Bet you didn't know KTEL's catalog ends up in some of the best and highest grossing TV shows and movies of all time. Okay, here we are. Ted Lasso, Watchmen, and Versace jeans.
Versace commercials. Wow.
Wow.
No
Okay,
way.
you know what? Much respect.
hand
KTEL
it to KTEL.
pivoted.
Still making it happen. Back in the day, it was all of these cheap compilations, and like you would get 4 or 5 great hits and then a bunch of filler. But the records were cheap. So there was also a label called Adam the Eighth, which was run by
Oh, wow.
Morris
Sheridan, that
Levy
is
from
so
Roulette.
cool. Sheridan says, later on, my dad was working from D.C. He was traveling to all the different installations, like Huntsville, one in Hawaii, etc.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Oh,
It's
I
great
love
to
that
get
you've
all
got
these
some of the
places.
memorabilia. That's amazing.
We have our share of KTEL and Ronco records. And,
Oh yeah,
they're fun.
the sounds
Mostly
like
disco.
Lisa. That's so funny because I remember when I did a summer in London, and I would go every morning for breakfast at Wimpy by my school, and they had sounds like Depeche Mode. To bring it back to Depeche Mode, I was like,
Back to that.
that's not Depeche Mode.
It
Sounds like
close.
Depeche Mode.
You know, there were actual groups who formed that sounded like
Oh,
Depeche
Tom
Mode.
Jones. We've seen Tom Jones once, Gwen,
Yeah.
and he was fab. I love that you've seen him multiple times, but yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah, no, we saw him some years back now, probably about 10 years maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Up at
He was
that-
amazing.
That joint near Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. And
Boxcar Willie.
It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's a great venue. We actually had the premium seats too. It was very cool. And you know, he at the time he had a fantastic record out. He had a great band, and he just came out hitting hard with the best version of "I'm Alive," the Tommy James song, which is very appropriate. It was
That
like
was
the
great.
lead track on his album, and his band was just great. And he just went out and sang the catalog and sang the hits and did all that stuff. He also had a recent Ray Bluesy record out, and he played a lot of stuff from that. He was the consummate showman. Mm-hmm. He looked and sounded great. So I got to say, Sir Tom, he's just making it happen, baby.
Okay, Laura says, did KTEL make or market the record sorter? I thought you might know that one.
They undoubtedly did something like that, and so did, who was it? Diskwasher. Diskwasher sold one of those. Because I found recently a selection of their inner sleeves. They sold some premium, like, you know, polyethylene inner sleeves for your records, your Valva records. And they were picturing whatever else they sold. Diskwasher made the hand cleaner, the stylus cleaner, the Zero Stat. And they made a record sorter. It was just like about 2 levels worth, and you would actually sort your records with it. Big flip.
The piano playing guy, Richard Clayderman.
Oh,
Sold
yeah.
millions. Never heard of him. I've never heard of him either.
Yeah, I've seen the name. He was one of these guys who probably made records that were sold on TV. And it's kind of like, you remember the commercials for like Zemfir, who sold more records in
Oh,
Europe
yeah.
than the Beatles. And you're like,
Zamfir,
Okay.
the pan flute artist.
Good, like the master of the pan flute.
Master of the pan flute. That was it.
So there you go. These commercials, they stick in the craw. The products they were saying, you know what? Those products sold well. Television was a good way to go with that. No question.
Wimpy's. Yeah, it was Wimpy's.
Wimpy's, I remember.
He was fab, Gwen.
I remember at the time I was in the UK, not long after you were, and I remember Wimpy's was the first place I saw that had a veggie burger on the menu. And it was really good, and it was cheap. So, like, if you were young, student, and starving, like, you could eat at Wimpy's, you know?
I did.
There were times when I was, like, really kind of strapped, and I just sort of went to a pub and put down 1 pound and had a pint of Guinness, and it was sort of filling. That's a little desperate, I got to tell you.
It's a long story, but I ended up. This worked out for the best. So don't be like, oh,
I'm still here,
that's
so
sad.
obviously, you know.
No, this worked out for the best. But I ended up spending my summer sleeping on an army cot in someone's kitchen.
Comfortable, huh?
It was better than where I was staying.
Than where I was
I
staying.
was staying at like a not a hostel exactly where I had arranged to stay, but it was. I had a room. I had my own room, but it was like all night long, just people partying, like right outside my window and like throwing bottles and glass breaks. Speaking of throwing bottles, I'm just like, I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep like just all day long. It was just, all day and
fun.
night. So I arranged with a classmate. She's like, well, you could probably sleep in my kitchen. And she was living with her boyfriend. And over the summer, she and her boyfriend broke up and she moved out. So I just stayed there with her boyfriend, who was lovely. And yeah, he turned out to be great. And we did not get together. But we'd go out to the pubs and I slept in the kitchen and it was all good.
Great to have a pub buddy. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
it was.
Show these things around.
So,
Eric had a track by Enoch Light.
oh, his
Songs
father
of the
did. His father
70s.
did.
Oh, wow. I believe that was available in quadraphonic on 8-track, too. Might own that. I got to take a look at the collection.
Pre-Wikipedia,
Have
I
more
always
than a
said,
few Enoch Lights.
look up sexy in the dictionary. There's a picture of Tom Jones. Exactly. Oh my God, we have that one album
yes.
cover. But
Basically, yes.
Eric says, I could be wrong, but I heard some of the songs on Depeche Mode's latest record were contributed by some of the members of Psychedelic Furs.
Yeah, the singer.
Yeah.
The singer actually co-wrote
We
stuff.
have it.
Yeah, we do.
You could bring it over and we could find out.
I can bring it over. Richard...
Richard.
What the hell's his name? It's off my head.
Oh, Viva
But yeah,
Las
he
Vegas.
did
I
compose.
wish.
Yeah.
Yablo, Master of the Ocarina. What? Oh my God, that is hilarious, Dan. Hi,
hilarious.
Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Hilarious.
Have you been skulking around listening to this conversation, Dan?
Master
I'm
of the
just saying.
pan flute.
That's it. I'm gonna find a Zamfir record and
Ocarina.
package it and send it to you so that
Vintage Camper
you
was
can
asking
enjoy
anyone from this
as much as
evening's
I.
going to Viva Las Vegas. I wish.
Oh, geez.
I
That'd be
wish
very
I was
cool.
going to Viva Las
That'd
Vegas.
be very cool. Viva is just one of the classics.
I
of
know, and
our
we've never been.
contemporary
Never been.
seminars. Oh, it's just it's a convention. It's a thing, you know.
I know, it would be amazing.
So many just like subtle things happening. There was like name checking of Roger Whittaker being sold on TV commercials. I recall that.
Zamfir album at a yard sale.
Oh, man.
If I saw a Zamfir album at a yard sale, I would be dying.
We own a couple of Zamfir. I think there
Night,
is-
Laura.
I'm reasonably sure there's a Christmas
Night,
record,
Peter.
which we own. And I think we have like a hits record or something like that.
Richard Butler. Okay.
Richard Butler,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't even need to
But
get the
you could
record.
go-
He is absolutely on there as,
Well, you could
as,
go
a,
show
as a
it off.
lyricist. I think
Clear
there was,
vinyl.
you can take a look at some articles about like how he contributed to the record going forward. And like I've seen pictures of him. He's looking
Trying to
actually-
catch up here.
He's frankly looking a little healthier than he used to look. He used to look like very rangy kind of guy. That is the one group of that sort that I saw in the day. 1987, I guess, saw the Psych Furs at my college. They came around, and, they were great. They were just really, really strong, and I really appreciated that this was a new wave style group that came out and had a sax player. That's actually very cool. I appreciate that. So,
Oh, Elizabeth says, We're here. Vegas locals have done it many years since it started in the Gold Coast, but since our T-Bird is on the fritz, no car show bands. Oh, I'll have to see this year what we're doing. Oh.
Yep.
Man, I would love to go. It sounds incredible. We spent all our money last weekend.
I'm sorry,
in New
it's
York
all
City.
spent.
I'm sorry, we're destitute.
We spent all the money, ate all the steakhouse
At New York
food,
City.
and drank all the drinks. And then we repaired to our friend's place and had a few more. Oh, geez, like they're very hospitable, I gotta say.
Early 80s name a song without a sax solo. Oh! I slept in a walk-in closet for the peace and quiet. Any port. That
Okay.
sounds like when I moved into those people's kitchen.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Carradine, I think you're thinking of Careless Whisper. Of course.
Yes.
That is the sax solo, which you are thinking of. I'm thinking to myself, then again, there is always that era of songs. Oh, it's just out of my head. I was just thinking of that.
There's I'm just thinking New York's all right if you like saxophones.
Yeah, that sticks in the craw. That's blocking what I was thinking of. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, Situation. True. Okay, true. Situation.
Yeah, that is 100% sense. Because that's Vince Clarke.
Oh, Gwen, I'm taking
Vince
screenshots of all of these links. I'm going to look at them.
We'll take a look.
Oh, Rio. Did Rio? I'm trying to remember.
Yes, it did. It did because they had a sax player.
Right. He was on the boat. He was on the...
Duran had
he
a
was
sax
like on the
player,
raft.
like a tenor guy.
He was on the raft.
I don't know
yeah.
who was playing tenor with them, but they actually made it a point to have a sax player and stuff. And when we saw them last August at the Garden, our first Garden show ever, they did not have a sax player.
No.
But the lineup was very strong, and frankly, they are every bit.
Oh, Gwen, I've been
the
taking
funk band you thought they
screenshots.
were.
I'm gonna look them up. Like if I click on them now, I might accidentally shut down our broadcast. So I'm gonna look at them after.
Would be a
and thank
problem.
you. Yes.
So thus, we need to.
No, I want to see
preserve-
them. I'm excited to
We
see
need to
them.
preserve for later. I appreciate all the links. Anybody who's watching,
Yeah.
you see these links, grab it and save it, or just like pop it. You can always go back later and just hop on these things and see what's what. This is the point. I mean, we actually have a banner at the bottom of the screen which tells you how to support us. I don't need to talk about it. That's it. It's right there.
It's just there.
It's just there.
It's just blocking your view.
So that's,
Now I'm trying to think.
not
Okay, 80s hits without a saxophone.
I'll melt with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
One big one-hit wonder. I frankly think they probably had 2 or 3 songs in them, but I never heard them.
Cabaret Voltaire. Yeah. Yeah.
Cabaret Voltaire has no sax.
Yeah,
They're very abrasive. I like those guys. They're kind of fun, but yeah, there's no sax.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of Oingo Boingo, which very much had a sax.
Very much a sax.
Had many saxes, as I recall.
I'm thinking of Romeo Void, who absolutely has a tenor player. He's right there in the videos.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a fair amount of sax going on. That's actually pretty important for new wave. I guess it's like a period. There was a long period where rock bands got away from saxophone, and I think, why? This was the critical instrument back when this stuff was happening. I am a sax player. So hey, I find it a little offensive that people stop playing sax in their music. Early R&B stuff, it's all about saxophone. It's very important. These are jazz bands. So then later on, it's just like, oh, but guitars.
Oh,
Blah,
Susie
blah,
and the
blah, blah,
Banshees.
blah.
Oh.
Science.
Oh, Lisa, thank you.
Science.
Yes.
So-
We appreciate you, Lisa and Errol.
We thank you from our heart every week.
Yes.
It goes appreciated. And you understand that because you get special benefits for being a patron,
You do.
which I believe you have on air noted you appreciate specifically. So I'm like, great. That
Awesome.
means it's getting through, There's several levels. You get different stuff at different levels, obviously. You get more stuff.
We have
that's available.
several
So,
patrons here. Oh, Dime. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, Dime.
Yes.
Yep.
Madness.
Dime,
Jam.
Sheridan,
Oh,
Julie. We've got some patrons here.
absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, Sweet
Thank you,
Dreams.
patrons.
There you go. Yep.
Yep. That's it.
Erasure would
different
have
thing.
not sax.
Erasure is like 100% synth.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
Vince Clarke.
Since 100% synth means not sax.
Vince Clarke, hardest working man in New Wave.
Yeah.
You know, he was just always all over the place. I mean, whether he's with Depeche Mode, hello, first album, whether he's with Alison Moyet, one of the great singers of the era, whether he's with Erasure, with Andy, another great singer of the era.
Thank you.
So, definitely. And what was that? A good vote for the Jam there. Oh, love the Jam.
Oh, yeah.
They don't get represented too much, but I used to hear them a lot on the radio.
Yeah.
When I was like high school years, I would hear them coming up on my radio, and I was like, these songs are great. These guys they were kind of a neo mod band, and they played fast, tight, hard. They were just really, very, very cool. I like those guys.
Is that whiskey lemonade still handy?
It is. It's behind you, inside the ice.
Oh.
Yoink. Just in case you need a topper of some kind. I am getting a little low, though I think I have yet another half round to go in this thing. The great thing about these glasses is that I've refilled it several times, and it's like, this is one drink.
And still it ran out. Oh.
It's one drink.
I lost it twice.
Whoops. It happens.
Oops.
Yep.
All right. The whiskey lemonade.
And we're talking Minneapolis bands, and we get into the whole funk scene. There's that huge thing. There's a huge, like, funk punk thing happening, because on one hand, you've got the Prince contingent. And you've got like that whole Paisley Park thing, which is
Make another drink.
Massive,
I poured another
massive
drink.
family of stuff that is insistently funky. My recommendation: go to YouTube and find some videos of the Prince band where he's just jamming, because he was actually a fantastic instrumentalist. It doesn't come through in the records all the time.
This is whiskey lemonade.
But it's really good to him just improvising.
Whiskey lemonade
really
from
good.
Lee Spirits. I might add just a little bit of citrus. Is there any more citrus?
I believe we are out of the citrus.
I added a couple of drops.
All right, one more round.
Maybe a couple of bitters too.
One more round to go.
Because I have them.
This has been happily diluting in here, and it is not harming anything. I wouldn't actually let it sit until all the ice melts, because that's terrible. But as long as it keeps it cold, you're in good shape. Still good.
Yeah.
This is a fun one.
There we go.
That's a really fun one. Oh, we got to vote for Prince as a guitarist at George Harrison's tribute.
Oh.
Wow. That's cool, because you don't normally think of him thinking of them, but he did, and he would, wouldn't he? Right? The other Minneapolis thing I'm thinking of is the whole like hard-edged sound that you get out of bands like Husker Du and, say, the Suicide Commandos. Oh, I love those guys. So that's the thing. Peter, if you're still watching, I think you can definitely lodge on to Husker Du.
Hey, Peter.
And Bob Mould. And,
Pieced out.
Okay. Well, we'll see him. We will see him again. And the Commandos, they're a little unsung, but they're very early, and they actually came back later, because like their lead guy definitely kept going.
Oh, okay. Carradine says it's on YouTube.
There we go. Excellent.
Right.
Excellent.
I'm going to let you read that one.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Ugh. Didn't care to hear their
I'm his piano player.
They fired him, then hired him as a piano
player.
player. Oh.
You're a jailable roadie, but you're a decent piano player. And boom.
Husker Du.
I did manage to see those guys once back in the day, and it was a really, really great show. I remember the first opening act was extremely dull, but the second opening act was, in fact, I'm thinking Clam Dip and Other Delights. Oh. Soul Asylum. Also from Minneapolis.
Oh, Blue Sky Mine. Oh,
yeah.
All right. Midnight Oil. I love Midnight Oil. I saw
yeah.
Midnight Oil twice.
Yeah. I saw them once. I should have seen them twice.
I saw them twice.
Call me a sucker that I didn't actually do it when I should have, because I was stupid. But that was then. I'm not stupid now. I'd see them again.
Yep.
But they're kind of broken up. But they could get back together. Who knows?
Yep.
All these bands are
Saw
doing it.
Twice.
I saw them on that actual Blue Sky Mine tour, and they were really excellent. They were as good as I thought they should be.
Crowded House. Yep.
Crowded House! Okay, you crazy New Zealanders! I'm doing Paul, the 55-year-old intern.
AKA
Yeah,
Richard
Midnight Oil
Cheese.
was one of my favorites from the day because at the time that I got into them, they were getting some play on MTV, but nobody knew them. So they were like, I was listening to them, and everyone was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But it's just like,
Really?
yeah, well, these guys are really strong. I mean, they did these great songs.
They had
were
videos.
very aware. They're very politically aware. They actually wore their values on their sleeve, and they rocked out pretty hard. So I
Big
like that a
Head
lot.
Todd and the Monsters? What?
Oh, we've heard of them. Yeah,
We have?
yeah, we've heard of them.
Oh, okay.
Definitely there. Okay, Neil Finn. Hello.
Human League, yep.
Hello.
Hi, Gil.
Can we start this thing over?
Oh.
Gil, just rewind to the top and read all
Exactly,
the comments. That's all I gotta
exactly.
say. Yuck, yuck, yuck. No, just you're here now. Talk. This is all about whatever the hell we're talking
Karen
about.
says sucker for Neil Finn. That just makes me think of
Oh.
the K-Rock Christmas out tape.
Tape at the
I mean,
time.
we had it as a tape.
We do, in fact, have it as a
Is
cassette
it
tape.
online now?
There are sections of it that I've seen online.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go to the old YouTubes and check that out.
When
We're on the YouTubes right now.
yeah, Crowded
Hello.
House comes on and like we're a crowded house. And it's like, wait, hold it. I was like, I'm Paul and I'm
Neil.
Neil. And it's like, no, you guys have to say your names. It's not like you're what is like Paul Sting and Neil Morrissey.
The funny thing is, if he said Paul Morrissey, he'd be referring to the Warhol crowd.
Be
But that's a different
Be
thing.
kind and rewind.
That's it.
Exactly.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, this is so funny because he was looking at Discogs this past weekend
Yeah.
at the Depeche Mode album, but specifically the newest one,
Newest one.
and it is available
Memento Mori.
as a cassette,
It's available as a cassette tape.
and the average price is $76.
People selling it on Discogs
What?
or selling it for the better part of a C note.
What? That's
Limited edition
nuts.
from their site. And I think
It's a
I
cassette,
certainly understand if you're
yo.
doing an LP pressing. We bought one. It's over there. I could show it to you. It's a good package. It's well done. It really sounds quite good. For what
Ron,
it is.
Ron Cohen K-Tel. We have so many Ron Cohen K-Tel records. Maybe that should be our theme next week.
We can do a little Ronco. Now I got to scare up the Vacarek.
We can't play them, but we can hold them up.
I can show you. We can't play a damn thing. It's all under copyright, and they will shut us down. And by they,
Except maybe the clams.
I mean the forces
Maybe we
that
could play
be
the clams.
at the YouTube and the Facebook. So
Maybe.
I would try
Hi,
another platform if I
Jennifer.
could. Hey,
Now, how much would you pay?
how much?
Oh my God.
There's only one thing I could possibly say to that question. But wait, there's more. No, all of the bonuses that you would get, the boni you would get out of a KTEL ad, it went on forever. And then finally you paid, and then you got it, and you said, well, that was underwhelming, but that's the nature of the Ronco now, isn't it? You know?
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Elaine here. Okay. Out with girlfriends tonight. First time rejecting a cocktail. Nice rum, Amaro, Aperol, strawberry. Just didn't work.
Oh.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I could look at that combo, and I
can see it.
and I could make it work.
Oh, play the clams. We have the rights. Okay, we will. We will.
Glad
we
to do
will.
it, baby.
So
Yep.
excited to do it. Yeah.
I could make that combo work, and
And we are back.
If it didn't happen, well, that's a shame. Jeez. But places, sometimes they strike out. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Lisa, that they are a lot more now. I paid an obscene amount of money for the Depeche Mode record.
I wouldn't like to say that on air.
It was obscene.
It was some.
I'm not going to say how much, but it
It was some money.
obscene.
It was some money forwarded in very small, non-sequential bills in a suitcase to the ticket master, and then there was a guy counting the bills.
Oh, okay. Lisa's saying yes. Play the clams. Okay.
I'm in.
All right. Maybe we'll do this next
could
week.
actually
I love
reveal
the
to you
idea.
right. I love promos on the air. Are you making a product? You got a thing going on? Drop it here.
There is a new clams
There's no
album.
clams. And it looks like this. Oh.
It's over there. Oh. He's gonna show you.
I have it. I can't show you the big one because we have the big one. This is the clams.
Tilt it down.
Ceviche! It's fantastic. Let me get it a little closer. That looks much better. Hey, recognize the guy on the cover?
Elaine had an old fashioned instead.
Aha.
Okay.
Ceviche is a fantastic new CD featuring the clams. And who's on the cover?
Thank you, Gil.
You might recognize this gal over here. The clams have hit it out of the park. This is very cool. It is the Latin side of full of
Hi,
such
cooking with a little spice.
great-
Good to see you.
great numbers as clam from
Oh,
Ipanema,
Jennifer, you're so sweet. Thank you.
and my favorite Oye Clamo Va.
Yes.
It is exactly
I
what
can
you
listen
think.
to it
is so
over
well
and
done.
over again and never get tired of it.
You know, I just recently fixed an 8-track of Abraxas by Santana. I was playing it.
Clam bake next week.
So I was like totally stoked to hear Oye Clamo Va. This is so cool. But really, it's track 1, Fistful of Tacos. Fistful of Tacos. Gotta
And
love
now
it.
I want shrimp ceviche. Oh,
much.
Elizabeth. All right, I'm going to
Ceviche.
drop the link to where you can buy your very own copy.
Hello.
Hold on.
Get it, do it, you love it. I'm just saying, this makes my hi-fi happy.
We'll be,
Very well done.
we'll be posting it a lot while we're live.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to drop the link
Guess what?
right now.
There's a whole bunch of stuff available from Los Clamos that you can find.
Exactly.
And you will absolutely love ceviche. And if you happen to like ceviche, I recommend ordering some and consuming it while listening to ceviche.
All right. I have posted the link both places.
I don't recommend consuming ceviche itself because it's made out of polycarbonate plastic and it's not digestible.
Not that ceviche.
Not that
but
ceviche. Eat ceviche.
I did. That is legit ceviche on that cover. I did make it.
That's the thing. This photo shoot happened like right over there, and you're looking at it.
No, don't
and that
destroy
was-
the mystery. Don't destroy the
that was-
mystery.
oh no, this happened at some mysterious place in Detroit. So there we go.
A
Strange
mysterious
but true.
island off the coast of Madagascar.
Who knows
don't
where
know.
it was? Madagascar is an island.
Right,
Anyway,
off the coast of a different island.
a different island. A strange island somewhere in the
Don't,
South
don't
Pacific.
ruin the mystery.
What? So anyway, but of course, absolutely. Would you like the clams? Don't even ask that question. Just go.
You will
and
love it.
Check
If
it
you're
out.
watching this broadcast, you will
You'll
love
it.
this.
You know you'll love it.
CD.
Would you like to have a sample? Take a look at the site. Check it out.
You will love it.
I mean, I've had 2 friends recently say they ordered it because of the cover, and then it was just making their hi-fi really, really happy. I'm like, oh, that's just awesome.
Where you met
of course
the
it is.
justified ancients
You know?
of Moo.
Here's the thing. We're really getting into South Pacific idols once more time. I'll take a little sniff of that.
I feel like it's even better with some bitters.
Well, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
Because I would say that
It's delicious.
straight up,
I
it's
highly
probably
recommend.
a little sweet, but I wouldn't mind a
Right.
bitter, and that'll
and
hit it.
I think a lot of people really like sweets, so you know what?
This is why this sells. But at the end of the day, it's actually
But I'm gonna give me some bitter.
a well done lemonade with the whiskey. So, boom.
Right.
Tink carefully, and bingo.
Well,
That's awesome.
This has been great because this week has been an uphill battle, but this has been a lovely evening. I'm
Sometimes
so
it
glad
is.
you joined us.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a little better. But the simple fact is that brick by brick, you get it where it's going. We were talking about some
Exactly.
classics tonight that are totally forgotten, which means, can they be classics? Well, they were
Yes,
at the time.
The clams are like the traveling Wilburys with a large family of clams. Yes, so many
Also
clams
true.
in the clam family.
Also true. You really just want to grab yourself some raw bar while you're listening and saying, I like these
know.
oysters. And away we go. Bingo.
Kieran, and I'm glad you made it this time. I'm glad all of you
Please.
made it this time.
It is just-
It's
it
been
is-
lovely.
Some kind of awesome to be able to continue to do these broadcasts for you. Same bat time,
Oh,
same
Jennifer,
bat channel.
I'm glad you
on
woke
Wednesday,
up too.
with whatever the heck we can throw out there. We were talking about, well, basically,
We tried 4
vintage
lost
spirits
cocktails,
and forgotten cocktails.
and every one of them was
I've got
good.
the Ted Hay book. I recommend this book too. Among other things, it's a great,
Good night, Mike.
it's a great binder and lays out flat very easily.
Yeah, that's always nice
Great,
in a bar
great
book.
pictures. It is so well researched. He has a little blurb about everything.
If you're ever
in the
going
book.
to produce a bar book, spiral bind it.
Yeah, make sure it sits flat.
Yeah.
Because you're going to want to do that. It's like a cookbook. It's true. Well, Ted Hay, Dr. Cocktail himself, made it happen. And he did this like 20 years ago now.
He did.
This is a reissue of that book. And by now he probably has yet another edition of the book. And maybe he like revised things and said, oh, by the way, that's the great thing about these books. These things can happen. Same with Jeff Berry. Issues new version of the book and says, hey, I love the fact that he'll put it on something and he says, bum steer. When I told you about this 10 years ago, I gave you the wrong recipe. Now there's some very like refreshing honesty.
Well, yeah, I would be honest, but I would also be mortified. Like, I'm glad he can just be like, you know what? That happened.
Hey, listen, when we get on air and we say, we tried that last week and it was terrible, I'll try it again and say, this improves it. So you don't have to make the bad version.
Eric, I'm so glad justice is working for you. I really am.
Please.
I'm so glad.
If it can actually turn around your way and
Carradine,
and make it positive for you at this point in time, from time to time, that does work.
Carradine appreciates the book recommendation.
Oh, excellent.
Oh.
Excellent.
No drinking before shooting off the cannon, though. Yeah, it's probably for the best.
If you're working with firearms for whatever reason that you need to, then the liquor is likely prohibited, and it's a good idea. Yeah. But if you have to fire off the cannon, make sure that your audience has a few rounds, because it's more fun when they're a little lit before you light. I'm just saying. There's the kicker.
As long as the right people are lit. I'm
kind of thinking like you're doing a July 4th thing and you're doing an 1812 Overture live and you've got like a powder charge in the can and you're like, boom! That's a lot of fun. It's a crowd pleaser. It's a Boston Pops thing.
Oh, Jennifer says we should write a book. Oh.
If you asked me, I would write a book. And at the end of the day, there's a book in there. And it probably looks a lot like certain books that from our friends who have done them recently, who are doing hilarious things, like Tim, from Tiki Underground, who did a great book.
Lisa,
and is working on a
second
book.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
His book is hilarious. He really just lays it out.
He does. He has a good one.
And
it's in our Amazon store.
And then he'll whip out this like crazy unique cocktail and say, oh, try this. And it just looks like a lot of fun.
Yes, that one is. I'll grab it.
It works. Yes.
I'll grab it.
There we go.
More
promo. More promo.
Book promo.
If we like it, it's because we think it's a quality product.
We do. No beard or bow tie required.
He's talking about that crop cocktail thing. It's hilarious.
And it's a lovely hardcover
one
book
of the top practitioners operating today. And I say that without fear of contradiction.
I've got to read his inscription.
And the inscription?
Though. He says, "To my sexy friends, Paul and Kelly, it's not as good as Jeff Berry's book." It is too, Tim.
It is too, damn it.
It is too.
The man is too modest.
Oh.
The man is a wiseacre.
Too modest.
And I gotta love that about him. So Tim, thank you. That's just fantastic. I gladly purchased his book. Big fun.
Right.
Hey, good night. It's probably
Velveteen Lounge book. I know. We need to get it together.
I know.
We finished our film. We're starting another film, but not for a couple of months. So
we don't exactly have the gap of time it would require to get a book together, but we could brainstorm what goes in there.
Thank you, everyone. I'm reading your comments.
The process. We have had more than a few requests for a book, a cocktail book, and you know what? I think if we put that together, we would nail it in a unique fashion of the sort of which you are becoming accustomed. Because why would I do another book that looks like the other books? No, we would do something pretty unique and tell you about it. And I would definitely put a lot of wise guy stuff in there, because this is all about the kind of fun we have on a Wednesday with all of you. All of you. Oh. And we come up with 100 formulas.
The winter months
and do a
when
lot
you
of
can't
classics.
shoot.
It's big fun.
No.
Yeah,
we need to buy a new camera.
Our camera is now 10 years old. Literally 10 solid years old, and it is falling behind the times. It is still kicking it hard. It still looks great. However, everybody's shooting in 4K and 6K and 45K, and that's a lot of K.
It's a lot of K. Special K.
We need a few dollars in the form of K's worth of dollars in order to purchase a new camera.
But that's okay.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We got a couple of
It's all
months.
right.
We got a couple of months. We'll work it out.
Got a little time. In the meantime, you have a great script and you have great ideas. And
I
we're just
do.
lining up shooting locations. This is going to be a little simpler than the last one because it really needs to be. But in the meantime, our first one, Ellen Waits, is currently playing
That's true.
in the Poor Life Choices
You
Film
have-
Festival.
Another 24 hours to watch it in the Poor Life Choices Comedy Film Festival
2-4.
until
Bingo.
midnight Pacific tomorrow night.
Yep.
And we'll be at the Coney Island Film Festival
Bingo.
May 5th through 7th. Our film is on May 6th, Saturday at 2 p.m. If you want to go, get tickets because it
It's a small
sells
venue.
out apparently. So yeah.
Small venue. Are you
Yep.
tri-state area bound?
Mixer
Are you
2.
interested?
There is no try. I'll
True.
I'll top and add bitters.
Mixer to not mix.
there is no try.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we try and fail. So I got to say, Yoda, look, sometimes you do not try. Sometimes that happens, actually, sir. However, usually we mix and nail it shut, so done.
If we do say so.
I don't mind saying to myself. So the simple fact is, this is it. At the bottom of the screen, you see how to support
It
us.
smells good. It smells
you
like
care
whiskey
to.
and
A number of you do
And
already
bitters.
and noted that during the broadcast. Thank you so much for continuing to do so because that's what helps this thing go together.
that's right.
And go and go and go. We give you a couple hours of hilarity every Wednesday because, yeah, we can do
We
that.
try.
We can do that. We try. I don't like this to be a slow show. I like this to just keep going. Bang, bang, bang. Ideas flying, flying, flying. All sorts of fun. All sorts of crazy things. We were talking about drinks you've never heard of because why? I don't know. Sometimes they're forgotten for no good reason. Income tax is not a bad thing. It's a weird
It was
looking
pretty
sort of
I liked it a lot
martini,
better than I expected to.
but it's a kind of an okay thing. And you made the Bebo, I believe, which
yeah,
was really not
I
bad
liked
at all.
it. I
Yeah.
liked all of them a lot better than I expected to.
Sometimes these
To be
things
perfectly honest.
fall off the radar for reasons that nobody
Yeah.
can name. There's a lot of those, and some of them are very worthy of bringing back, like
And-
Clover Club.
Maybe we
Hello?
can be back out in the tiki next weekend.
We'll see
Next
what
week.
happens.
Next week. Wednesday.
we
Next
were
week.
we were both planting products today. We've got some seeds
I
going
did.
to make some peppers and such. So we need the heat to come up. So
Yeah.
that
I think
will-
it's gonna get warmer.
It'll help the plants. It'll help the tiki room. People love the tiki room. I love the tiki room. You've got to have a tiki room. Well, maybe you don't, but we do. So if you ever visit, then you can enjoy it. If you're ever coming to our neck of the woods, let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know. We'll tell you how to get here because you ought to visit. You're welcome. All of you. In the meantime, we've had some fantastic products. Check the links, people. Check the links. We've had a lot of links dropped tonight on things you just need to take a look at. We've had some links to products from the clams, whom would make your hi-fi happy. That's a simple thing.
Yes.
But it's not some vast expense. These are very normally priced CDs. You would love it. I believe there are some LPs left of the Clam Before the Storm. Large format. I love them. We want Dan to do another, and it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. We need to improve LP pressings. I'm just saying. But everybody's doing LP these days.
He was all about opening a pressing plant like walking distance from our house, but
I am still.
you just need to figure out how one does that.
Well, we need the financing. So that, if you know of such things, let's talk. Because records need to be pressed. I think it's a great idea. I have a lot of great ideas like that just need the financing. So let's go. I'm not
All right.
asking for the money. I'm asking for advice. So here we go, folks.
So if you have advice for him on how to open a record pressing plant,
Let's talk. I'm into it. I'm here for it. And if I could do it tomorrow, I would.
and there's an empty space like
There's a fantastic empty space that's just
quarter mile from
sitting
our
there,
house.
which has a large parking lot that could totally handle the number of employees. And if that's all it did there, that would be a much better use of space. I'm just saying. We've got the space. This could be done anywhere. anywhere.
All right.
Simple fact is, it's been awesome to have a couple hours with you on a Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for supporting us when you do. You've heard about some great lost cocktails, some great lost media. We've been talking about crazy stuff. A lot of new wave happening tonight. I enjoy it. Fun stuff. You've been talking amongst yourselves. I adore that.
Yes.
You oughta. If you're rewatching this broadcast, thank you for watching all the way to the end. That's awesome. It's a couple hours worth of a recording. If you're not participating live, it may not be as much fun, but the simple fact is, we know you're there. Drop us a line. Next week, we're still working on a theme, I think. K-Tel. That might be hilarious.
K-Tel.
I need more K-Tel products.
Do we have any Ronco appliances with which we could make drinks?
I need to hit the thrift store pretty hard. Jeez, I think I used to own one of those bottle cutters. Oh, what happened? Oh, and I've never owned the record vacuum, but I can bring out the VPR.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Oh.
So true.
Oh, good night, everyone.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Always remember, the simple fact with this show is, no matter where you go and whatever you do, you're safe with us. We'll see you soon.
Good night.